And welcome back to another episode of The Wild Beyond the Witchlight, the Carnival cards. Last session, the party had managed to reach Motherhorn, which is the castle mountaintop theater, and you approached the door with the skeletal face. It made sure that you had all the invitations, and it also made sure that Gleam wasn't here. And as it cracked open, you were able to walk through this corridor, pull back that velvet curtain, and enter into the massive amphitheater here. There's a stage, there are lights, there's these cranes, and goblins seem to be rushing around on the stage, preparing everything. And it was in the middle of a rehearsal as well. Some sort of tragic play was being kind of played out, but one particular goblin kept getting frustrated at them, forgetting lines and such. So they called for like a small break. Um, Meanwhile, you approached one of the darklings on the seating area and asked about your invitation, and they went off to fetch someone to basically escort you. And during that time, you got to talking with a couple of the stage hands and actors. Seems like everyone's here for a different reason. Some are trying to impress Endelyn to get a option to bargain with her. Others are trying to pay off a debt or perhaps fulfill the bargains that they have taken with her. And after watching a couple of the goblins go back and forth with props, you also spoke to Zolt. He seems to be helping with um, the stage's mechanisms and such. You even proposed a better way to end the play. And that is to sort of have Endelyn be this kind of godlike figure to come down and steal the show. And then finally, another goblin showed up. This one wearing a jester's hat and holding a staff with a goblin's head on top of that. This sickly, grinning face. And he spoke to you about the invitation and said that she had been expecting you. Bitter End was awaiting you in one of her private sanctums. So he led you all the way up this spiral staircase. And when you reached the very top, you could see over the balcony the Ore with these massive metal arms holding onto sickles and celestial bodies. You could see it slowly turning around, and as each object sort of passed each other, you saw this smoky apparition appear with some sort of letter or rune that appeared. It was hard to make out how this thing truly tells what it tells. Perhaps it's some sort of divination magic, but you're a bit too high to sort of fully understand the mechanisms. And at that point, you heard Stage Fright come back, and you said that Enderlin would see you now. And when you entered into that, you saw the very ominous, creepy room with the hanging marionettes. The floor was covered in parchment, like past scripts that never came to fruition, and this domineering wardrobe right at the back, the glass mirror. You could see Enderlin's reflection staring back at you as you entered into the room. And as she turned, you saw the full visage of Endelyn Moongrave, that dark veil hiding a skeletal-like face. Her dress opened up to reveal that of like a sickly lit stage and another set of forearms, mechanical puppeteering marionettes dancing on top of this stage inside of her dress. And that's when you began bargaining and sort of trying to come to a negotiation. You wanted your things back, Solomon and Xaxx, but she was only willing to do it for a few things. The first was if you had Gloam, which is her cat, the one you actually found in Bavlona's cottage, and you brought it with you. So that sort of solved having to go back if you wish to give over Gloam. Gloam for Solomon's season, and they said that they would happily give Xaxx's shadow back should they be able to impress them in a play. And finally, you wanted to bargain for peace across Yon, and she said she would be willing to make everyone's lives a bit better and not interfere with the Briganocs, or rather give the Briganoc back. You know that you're here actually for one of them, and also to stop tormenting the Corrids. And she would do that for one thing, and that is the unicorn horn. She seems to know a great many things, but the one thing she didn't seem sure on was where you're keeping the actual horn. So, and you did ask it, how does the future work? How does the future profits? You wanted to kind of gauge how much she knew, but she was hiding a lot of cards close to her chest. She didn't reveal that information, nor did she reveal why she wanted Gloam back so badly. So that's where we left. The conversation came to a bit of a ruckus when you tried to give Gloam over, and Gloam clawed at your chest, tried to hold on to you, and then coughed up a great amount of dust into the air, which kind of blocked out the vision in a small cloud. But yeah, that's where we left off. We'll jump back to this room here.
Oh, come on. It's okay. This is what Nox would want. Don't worry. I'm trying to pull the cat away from me.
Yeah, you tried as best you could, but they are clinging on tight.
You might have to grab Gloam from me.
I see.
Are we sure that Gloam is yours? Because cats, they are not possessions. They go where they want to. If the cat has not chosen you or has changed its loyalty, well, it's nothing we can do.
Gloam is most certainly my cat. You can see I have all their favorite toys here as well. And she gestures towards a little wicker basket, and you can see there's 3 tiny stuffed birds. There's a little wind-up clockwork bird there as well, all strewn around the basket.
Perhaps you put the cat near the toys. Perhaps it would recognize the toys.
She shuffles over. Do you want to give one of them a go, Solomon?
One of the toys, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even guide myself because I've not got focus. Okay. I guess I'll just start playing with the cat. Real life is getting into my D&D games.
Alrighty, so you pick up one of these little clockwork birds, winding it up and placing it on the floor, causes it to chirp softly and shuffle its feet. And you can see they sort of go counterclockwise in a little circle. They seem to complete a circle every 10 seconds. And at this point, I will say you can give the animal handling check another go.
Just like, have you not got any teasers? Do you even know what a cat likes?
Gloam was... Oh, no.
Exactly,
So...
where's the teaser?
Wow.
The teaser.
He has that dangly feather.
It seems Gloam knows what's up and isn't going to be distracted by any toys in this situation just for you to sort of walk away and leave her here. Gloam fiercely clings onto your leg. You can't pry them from you.
Jeez.
And Endelin kind of looks towards you, looks at Gloam, and says, "Well, I'm afraid I cannot bargain with you until Gloam is made perhaps more at home."
Okay, but
Perhaps
I?
we should take some time to talk with Gloam in private.
Yeah,
Persuade
can
them.
I at least see my other half?
She looks at you.
Like I
She suddenly animates a little marionette in her dress. Just grab the art for that again so you can see it. And suddenly one of the marionettes sort of takes on the appearance of you, Solomon, and you seem to be searching around on the stage, running from one to the other side. And then another marionette rises up from behind. This one
does it look
sort of, yeah.
does it look more lifelike the other one then?
Yes, it does.
Oh, okay. You turned him into a puppet, and the mask on his head is looks like it's starting to burn up a little. The summer mask.
It's. She says, all of you are but masks. Masks for a different season. You wear the face of the shifting natures. He is no different from you.
But we're people.
And you broke the rules of the Witchlight Carnival.
Oh, okay.
You know, I really need to discuss that with them at some point when I go back, because I realize, you know, we broke the rules, but we broke them by accident. So I really think there should be some leniency there. But
Yeah, maybe they should have had like better guards.
true. Well, it seems like this bargain is not working at the moment. So,
We can proceed with Xaxx's bargain instead. The stage is all ready for you. The props, the dressing room, stage fright can organize from there.
Okay.
I have a question about the performance I have to give for my thing. Just for
Yes.
clarification. Is it a solo performance or is it like a group thing?
You will all have your parts to play.
Will you be joining us?
I will be watching,
No,
judging.
I mean like, will you be joining us on stage?
Wait a minute, you can't be judging. You said that Xaxx would be judged by a third party.
Yeah, we're supposed to have third party
Right.
Yes.
non-influenced individuals here. You are unfortunately your opinion is not to be taken into effect for this.
yes, that's true.
I have a third party who is fit for this position, as well as an actor themselves.
Hmm.
Are we permitted to know who this person is so we know which audience we are playing to?
You will be playing to the audience of Matterhorn, and they expect a tragedy.
Oh.
I've got a few ideas for that.
If then you are willing to accept, Stage Fright can get this underway immediately. Goblin kind of steps forward. Yes, of course. You would like to follow me. I can take you to the stage, go through a few lines, and, well, I know time is of the essence, so perhaps more improv and ad-libs seem to be in order. But let's get you at least dressed up.
That seems fair.
You ready?
Xaxx, what do you think? This is your show after all.
I think yeah, I think let's go do this. And Solomon, only Solomon in his head hears, we'll take care of your thing after, I promise you.
Oh, you just hear like mourning coming back through to your head.
You hear Clone pining at your leg as well, who is refusing to go anywhere.
I give Glom a few pats.
It causes them to sort of puff out a few more bits of dust.
So gross.
One
Endelyn,
last
Yep,
question
yep.
for you, Endelyn, before we leave. What would you do? What would you give in exchange for the returning of lost property? You'd obviously Gloam you counted, but that was kind of more taken property that's now someone else's. But what would you do for something being returned to you?
There is only one thing that needs returning. That is the unicorn's horn.
Ah, so you don't want your kite then?
She looks towards you suddenly. The veil kind of slowly comes to a standstill.
The kite. Which kite?
It's one that kind of looks like a very angry face that might want to eat things. That's kind of how I'd describe it.
See. You may return that to the props room.
And will I get anything in return?
Perhaps you'll have to speak with Jamey. I'm sure they will offer you a little trinket in return.
Ah, excellent. I just thought I'd ask whilst I was here. It's been a pleasure meeting you. We'll go prepare ourselves to give the performance of our lives and the performance of your life, I guess, because, it's meant to be something you've not seen before. It's kind of hard when you've seen the future, but...
Stage fright says,
All the more reason we should improv. That's why. You can't predict. It'll all be ad lib.
Fair enough.
That sounds great.
I mean, if you think about it, it sort of depends on how accurate the future telling is. Is it just predicting what you already know, or predicting what actually will happen? It's an interesting question.
Yes, and how easy can the future be changed once it's been seen, I wonder. But anyway,
Voilà.
I mean, even if we're doing admin, we need a basic idea. So let's go see what props and such we have to play with. We've got an idea of the stage, but let's go.
okay. Stage fright says, all right, this way, and slams his little staff on the stone twice to get everyone's attention. Follow me. And as you pass back through the Darklings, they have your stuff offered back to you, quiver of arrows, etc.
Excellent.
And
Tarquin
the door
starts
is
putting all of his stuff back on.
yeah, and the door is shut behind you as well. I'll just drag you. Here we go. Door slams shut, and you can hear the ruffling of papers as if a parent gust catches them. And he leads you back down the stairs. Let's gather everyone's token up.
As we're walking, Tarquin is going to be trying to talk to Stage Fright. So, Stage Fright, you seem to be quite on the up and up here, quite a head honcho, but of course not right at the top. What's your actual official role here? Are you just like the stage manager, or are you...
No, I'm the master of ceremony.
Ah, and is that, like, fancy stick you've got, like, a symbol of office then for that, I guess?
He looks at the scepter and looks back at you and sort of tries to mimic the same expression on it. Of which, hold on, I'm sure there's an art for this. Fine.
I mean, I personally find like a great
Yeah, here
faith
we
in
go.
props and trinkets and stuff. It can often tell a lot about a person.
There's this little stuff. And he tries to pull off the same toothy grin. And he says, "Oh, yes, this is my trusty little scepter. It's a clownish thing, but it gets your attention."
Certainly does. I mean, I've just got this maypole and, well, honestly, half a dozen other weapons, but it's nice. I mean, I don't know if I'd want to walk around with, like, a head on a stick. Maybe if it was, like, a dragon head or something like that, that could be kind of cool. No offense, Xaxx, of course. Hmm.
And as you're looking at it, you can make me an Arcana check, and as you're mentioning this.
Yes. Not great.
You're not 100% sure if it's magical or not. There's a kind of a lot of weird features to it. So you would think those magical, but they could also just be clownish and jester-like because he's got over the top
Yeah, it could be
colors
mechanical.
and exactly. Yeah.
So who's responsible? So we've seen like a few mechanical stuff and things like lowering of stuff. Who's responsible for that side of things?
Oh, that's Zolt and Speckle Nose, my other goblin associates who work here.
I met Saul. I gave him. I was speaking to him. You know, he was having some difficulties getting his actors to pretend not to be breathing when they're dead. It's a tricky thing to pull off. Quite hard. I mean, have you ever tried not breathing? It's hard to do without actually dying.
Yes. But you must commit to the performance.
Stay under
Otherwise,
stress.
the tragedy just doesn't hit right. And I assume most of you will probably meet some sort of horrific end or terrible fate. The more of you that die, the better.
So,
He grins after that.
and so Tarquin goes, so for a better end, we need to all meet a bitter end.
Oh, yes, yes.
And as he leads you around into this next room, I didn't give a description of it last time, but I will now because you were kind of just being escorted. This is a grand library. Hundreds upon hundreds of books are stacked on the shelves here. There is actually a set of darklings here. They seem to be a little bit taller or larger than the others. They're sat around a coffee table, and seem to be they don't seem to pay you much notice. In fact, it's almost like they know that you're supposed to be here, especially with stage fright kind of escorting you as well. So let me see what else. Yeah, it seems like most of the books are sort of leather-bound tomes, but can't read any of the spines. They don't seem to have any like writing or anything. And the other odd thing is there doesn't seem to be like sections where it would say something like, fiction, non-fiction, etc. It's just all sort of the same. Even all the books look the same as well. They don't have unique colors or size differences between them. They're just all leather bound, same size, same, very uniform. But he spends like 20 seconds escorting you through here. And he finally gets you to the stage, the main amphitheater here.
Right. Clear the stage. We have an important play coming up.
The other actors kind of shuffle away. And stage fright stands up, center stage, spins round with a little twirl, and comes to a halt with his staff between two hands and says, "Right, so this little tragedy in the making, we'll call it. We don't have much time. In fact, time is of the essence. And to impress the Dame of Unhappy Endings, you will need to perform a tragedy. Something gruesome, depressing, and darkly humorous. I just think, Oh, I have the play. He suddenly flicks his wrist and a rolled up script suddenly appears in his hand. Oh, but normally we would have several hours to prepare. Alas, time is of the essence. And since you don't have time to memorize all these lines, you'll need to improvise. And he tosses the script over his shoulder and says, "Worry not. I'll feed you lines from the wings if you get stuck." As he says that, he slowly tiptoes back and behind the curtain, sort of hides himself. Like this. And he sort of whispers something. And then he hops back onto the middle of the stage. Now, performers need their roles. Let's have you line up. Let's see what would fit each and every one of you. He looks to the front and smiles, a grinning smile. I already know that you would make a brilliant failed magician, Tarquin.
Yeah, I can see that.
What about the rest of you? He's I'm gonna roll as well at random, but feel free to switch and trade up rolls if you wish. And if you have better suggestions, you know, I'm all ears. So let's see. Rolls. Okay, here we go. So for Tanwen. Okay, well, there's the failed magician. That's for Tarquin.
Yeah.
The next one. How about a foolish minstrel?
I can be silly with the rest of them.
We'll find you an instrument and a colourful outfit. Oh, we can give you like big clown shoes so you're tripping all over the place.
Ooh, I don't want clown shoes. No. That's too silly.
Right. I'll let you pick your own props once we get to the dressing room. Okay? And looks to you, Solomon. Chin up. Let me see your face. Okay. What about a mean-spirited servant?
I don't like that at all. Oh, well, I guess
I'll take that one. Oh, no.
That's actually good.
That's a good one. That's a great roll.
You can be mean-spirited and that you just don't want to do anything. I think it actually. Solomon, I think you'll be fantastic with it.
So you're already in the role.
Okay.
All right, Xaxx. Oh, you're very colorful. Let's see. Maybe we're gonna roll. I wanna. Oh yes, we've got the armor already. How about an honorable knight, but risen from the dead?
I'm a sword, and yeah, sure. Protect the innocent and slay the evil ones.
Yeah, some sort of tragic thing that is keeping you from resting back in your grave. One final
lightning that keeps
goal
hitting
you had
you
to
in the face.
achieve. Haha.
Perhaps you only rise from your grave on the full moon.
Oh, well, yeah. Maybe I'm like a zombie. No, what's the other one? Werewolf.
Yeah,
Werewolf
that could be
Knight.
cool. That would be cool. Wear Dragon Knight. That's where you've got the draconic form.
Oh yeah, well, wear dragon. Normally I'm just a regular knight, but then I turn into a dragon on the full moon.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's unique. I must say,
I don't think Endelin would have ever seen something like that before. Perfect.
Well, she's never met me before.
Now, going down. Oh, let's swap Rodolfo in here. So they're going in high order or something. Right. Let's see. And for you, Rodolfo. No, we got the foolish minstrel. Gonna keep rolling. How about a cowardly noble?
I think I can do that. Excellent.
You'll do anything if it saves your own skin, even if it means the lives of others.
Yes, that's going to be difficult. As long as I don't have
Maybe.
to do jokes, I'm okay. Okay, good. Next one.
If you have to betray the others to save your own life. Yes, I think that looks perfect. All right, I can see it already. Going down. So
Can I
big
have
and
a fancy
clavicle.
costume? I will have a fancy
Of
costume.
course. Yes,
Excellent.
definitely.
That is my main goal here.
He looks towards Soapig and Claviclaw. Are you actors as well? Like, kind of look at each other. Claviclaw's like, well, I'm just more here to help be a guide, but I do know some grim jokes. Oh, well, actually, you're a perfect fit then. So Claviclaw's gonna be
A jester.
the. He could be a jester. What about the nervous?
Clapperclaw like
Hmm?
to be the foolish minstrel instead? Would that make Clapperclaw happier?
Yes, that fit. You can be cracking
Okay.
these dark, humorous jokes, whilst you, Tanwen, what about a drunken satyr, or a high and mighty princess, or even a nervous apothecary? Those are the other kind of options to give
You
you
know-
an idea.
That's fine. Xaxx, this is your play. You choose. What can I be that will help your play?
You?
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna be the minstrel.
Well, Clapperclaw wants to be the minstrel.
Oh, Clapperclaw wants to be the minstrel. Okay.
Right. So
Sorry.
I've got a choice of a. I'm sorry. What were my choices again?
In the chat.
Oh,
I think you would make a really good high and mighty princess, and then you
Okay.
can play off of Rodolfo, who is the cowardly noble, and you can be like betrothed to one another or something, and you're just and it's not going very well.
Okay. Okay.
The tragedy of
Excellent.
romance is playing.
Yes, romance that suddenly turns sour. You could have poisoned cups, stabbings in the night, whatever
then
your
what-
imagination.
And then they die, and then I come up as the knight, the risen knight, after whoever dies is dead.
Brilliant. This is already fitting into order, chronological order. And finally,
And-
Soapig, you're. And she kind of gestures. No, it's okay. I'm just here to watch the show. And she kind of licks the lollipop. Oh, very well, very well. And she gives you all a grin and a wink. Actually, how about I help from the stagehands? Oh, yes, the goblins could always use an extra pair of hands operating the cranes. Yes, I'll show you right away. A speckled nose. And another little goblin rappels down from the top. They're kind of wearing this little frog outfit. And as they hop to the floor, show Soapig here how to work those cranes. Okay. And they go off into the back of the stage, and they're shown the ropes. All right. In that case, now that we've all got our roles assigned, we've already kind of got a few ideas how this is going to play out.
Very badly. What?
But don't feel too restricted. You don't have to stick to a rigid script. Go crazy, go wild. So long as it involves some sort of tragic or depressing or darkly humorous event, then
you're on the right tracks to impressing the audience. Now, who wants to get some props?
Yes, let's go check
Uh,
out the props.
Property. Yeah, okay, sorry.
All right. He begins sort of skipping off. Follow the leader, and with his scepter held high, he he leads you this way.
Follow the leader, follow the leader.
Wow.
That's too
Yeah.
joyful. Right. So stage
Okay.
left is a platform embedded in the stone floor at the end of this corridor. There seems to be like an iron lever fixed to the wall nearby as well. And you're not sure exactly what that's for, but as you're probably eyeing it, he's like, "No, don't touch."
Mm,
Okay.
Follow the leader.
That's better.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, this is what I meant. Little lever, some sort of like wooden platform beneath you. And as your feet go over it, you can hear it's quite hollow. It's like a thud, thud, thud. And then you head up a set of stairs, turn right. He draws a curtain back, revealing the prop room. Oh, here we are. All right.
The curtain gets me every time.
Yeah.
You've got all kinds of oddities in here. Look, a chest full of powdered wigs. Or a mousetrap.
This one's huge. He pulls out like a 3-foot wide, 8-foot long mousetrap.
Could catch the king of rats with this thing.
And then he go on.
Is there any paint?
Paint. There will be some around here.
He opens up another crate, and sure enough, there's all kinds of paint pots here. And this shouldn't be here. And in top of the paints is an umbrella that he sort of daintily picks up and pretends to be some sort of lady. It's also topped with a little copper weather vane.
Is there a lot of paint?
There's plenty of paint.
Okay.
They're
And different
mostly kind of
colors?
dull. Yeah, they're mostly drab and dull kind of character colors.
That's
You got
good.
like
That's good. I have an idea of what I
purple,
want to paint.
brown.
I'm gonna paint my face to match my death aesthetic for the Death Knight thing I'm doing.
Oh yes. Embody the Dark Knight.
Yeah. I am vengeance. I am the knight.
Okay, and what else? And
He also looks around and finds a 3-foot high plaster pedestal, which perches a small leering gargoyle.
don't know how you could use this, but that's a thing. I'll let you pick about for, let's say, 20 minutes or so. I'll be right back. I just got to make sure Sopig is getting the proper instructions.
And he quickly hops away. But you're left to sort of your own devices for a bit, picking out props and costumes.
Yeah.
Actually, the dressing room has mostly the costumes, which he said he was going to lead you to next. So for now, this is mostly props and things.
Yeah, so I'm gonna.
Wow, I like your play.
As we've established from the Hunger Games trilogy, being good at baking means you're automatically good at doing face paint.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
So I'm gonna spend way too much time doing face paint on myself to sort of make it like a skull face with blood coming down and make it very creepy and disgusting and whatnot.
Cool.
Rodolfo is going for the powdered wigs.
Okay.
Because it feels really appropriate if he's like a Baroque sort of Moliere-ish character. So like powdered wigs, powdered his face with like a lot of rouge, a beauty mark maybe, and he's gonna paint some wrinkles in to make himself look older.
Perfect. As you pick up one of these powdered wigs, you see like half a dozen spiders skittering away from it.
Gross. Okay. Yeah, he'll shake out the wig.
Yeah,
or
but-
find the least infested one.
You shake it out. They do harmlessly skitter away. They're not like massive spiders. They're just like tiny ones. But
Ugh,
yeah, that's the whole thing.
that's gross. Well, maybe he'll just shake it out and
Mhm.
wait to put that on a little bit. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's the look he's going for. Is
Gotcha.
So, in terms of sort of my role in this, I'm kind of thinking, like, I'm gonna perform towards the princess, but the tricks keep going wrong, and then Clapclaw comes in with like a joke or a zinger, like to sort of
Yeah.
on whatever goes wrong.
I can do that.
So, like, I might shuffle the cards, get Tanwen to pick a card, and then I go to pick a card, and they're like, "Is this your card?" And it's not. You know, that sort of thing. Like, just kind of corny, but kind of simple. And then you'd be like,
Is that the opening act?
that could certainly work. Yeah,
that is an excellent opening act. Yes.
yeah, and
And
then
then the plot moves to. So we discover that Tanwen is betrothed to this horrible man who wants to kill her for the money, of course.
yeah,
And I guess he succeeds. And then
Xaxx rises from the
Xaxx.
dead to get vengeance because he was like the princess's bodyguard who'd perhaps been poisoned earlier, but the final poisoning of like his beloved princess rises him from the dead.
brings him back out
And
of,
for
out of
vengeance, yeah.
Yeah.
vengeance. So it's a vengeance play. But where is the tragedy?
Vengeance.
Where is the sorrow?
Well,
Perhaps.
pa-
I mean-
Because the knight and the princess can never be together.
Yeah, maybe
Because
they're
now
maybe the knight and the
he's-
princess
he's,
are.
he's alive and she's dead.
yeah,
And they will always be tied together like this, but they can never truly be
Be
Yeah.
together.
in love, alas. And they have only realized just now that it is too late. Ah,
perhaps,
that is beautiful.
perhaps if you wanted to go for a sort of tragedy, but sort of also a happy end in a weird way, perhaps Xaxx can give up his life and that revives the princess. Like, he'd rather see her live than live without her, sort of thing.
But then she is alive and realizes that her lover is dead
And kills herself.
and kills herself. Of course she does.
Yeah. Completely original storyline.
Wait,
Exactly.
what is sadder, if she dies or if she lives and must be married to the horrible noble?
It's
What
difficult.
if she tries to kill herself to be with the
Yeah.
knight, but it
Maybe
doesn't work,
Yeah,
and then so she's like incapacitated and like can't really live a good life, but she's still alive and has to live with the
Yeah, like
Yes.
Xaxx
Doesn't
bringing
actually
her
work.
back gives
But
her
it-
a form of like almost
Mm.
like immortality,
Maybe-
but crippled.
yeah. So she's like she can't die because she
She
wants to, but
she can't ever
doesn't
be
want-
happy.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I zoned out for a moment there, but I have an idea.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
What if he fought his way to the princess? And
That would be exciting.
and a lot of people died along the way, like the cowardly
Oh.
noble. Maybe the Sorry, what are you again, Xaxx?
I'm a knight that's risen from the dead.
Yeah,
Mm.
maybe it was a cowardly noble that had you killed, so you come back to kill the noble to win back your princess, and you take on a few people along the way.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay,
And
so I
then-
kill I kill everybody, and then I realize that I've in the mayhem because I've gone mad, I'm crazy mad, I can't control myself. I've also killed the princess, and I kill myself
Yes.
because I can't handle it. I can't do it. So I sacrifice myself to bring her back, but then she's got to live alone because everybody's dead, and she's
That's
like
good.
alone.
That's very
And
good.
maybe
in
it's
this-
the
in this
magician.
desolate-
maybe it's the magician who does that kind of spell, but because he's a failed magician, that's why it doesn't work.
That's excellent. Yeah, and I can use some of my my elemental stuff, like almost like I'm bringing the flame out of the life of one of you and putting in the other, sort of thing.
And then the failed magician is like overcome with guilt, and then they either get killed or stuff like that.
Or
Well,
the knight fights the noble and wins, and then they realize that they can't be together because one's dead, but the failed magician can help by performing magic, but it goes wrong and explodes, and they all die from the explosion.
I think for me, I like the violence of the knight coming back and slaying everyone, because that is very exciting, end of Act 3 sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a
But-
big set piece. It's an action set piece.
Exactly, yes. But the real tragedy is not the death. It is the loss of love. It is the two lovers who are separated, who can never be together, no matter what they do. It's the existential horror of having to know that you will never ever be happy. That is what tragedy is.
Mm.
Also,
Ooh.
also a lot of corpses just around for
Yes.
color. But
Yes,
Yeah.
we're gonna need. So we're gonna need some extras, but I'm sure they've got some of those lying about.
what are those little packs of blood that you can put all over your
Squibs.
costume?
Ribs.
Yeah.
Squibs.
Yeah,
Oh.
we can have.
And-
We're gonna need a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Xaxx, you're going to need some of those blades that you retract into the handle,
Oh, I guess we could use those too. Yeah.
or
Yep,
I can
I have a-
do
I have
some minor illusion to cut my own head off.
I have a +1 obsidian dagger.
Nice.
What if
Does anybody see a tiara? I need a tiara or a crown.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
you
could
need
find
your-
one of those. It's sort of a
Yeah.
dark crystal tiara. You can find out the crystal isn't real, it's some sort of other material, but it's like spiky and thorny.
did we find paint?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of paint. I'm
That's
pretty sure.
mostly in the dressing room, but yeah, you've got paints. These are mostly paints for painting props, but
So I
you
look
could use them.
I look through the dressing rooms. I find like some really nice like suits and tuxedos, and right next to them is a can of black paint, and I just paint all my leaves to look like a tuxedo.
Nice.
Okay.
And just like
So
the Simpsons moment where he sees all these really useful things and then grabs the most inconvenient thing.
So to aid in your performance and set pieces, you've probably got some prop weapons, or you can use your own. You probably find like a wooden tombstone painted to look like stone, that you
Yeah.
could be used as a grave. You got some like a bag of soil that you could put over the top of Xaxx.
I'll just
And-
pop out from behind the gravestone.
Perhaps,
Oh.
Yeah.
perhaps rather than sort of popping up from it, if like maybe you burst through it. Like
Oh.
burst,
Yeah.
the real
Burst-
dramatic, like you're hiding behind it and suddenly it bursts apart and you're there.
Yeah. Okay. I'll
if
rip
we-
it apart and be
if-
angry and then go on
I mean,
vengeance.
if we can time it right, I'm thinking maybe I could almost. I mean, it would need to be some quick movement from me, but if I was able to be like actually no, we can use magic. What if we have at that moment Solomon sets up cool lightning on it, and the thing gets struck by lightning, and that's when you appear from the dust.
Oh, that is a great effect. Yes.
Just
The
to make sure you
lightning
don't hit me
brings
with
the
the lightning.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you should be used to it by now. I'm sure you've developed an immunity. That's how lightning works, right?
That's exactly how it does not work. So just try not to hit me with the lightning. That's happened enough times as it is.
Well, it happens that the umbrella does have a small little weather vane on the top of it. Speaking of other props, Clapperclaw points out that there's plenty of like goblets and
Eat the dish.
what's the word? Attire for like a kingly sort of state, because you're gonna have a princess. So
Yes.
there's also a throne as well, and it's like gilded as well, and it has this big velvet seat cushion on it as well.
I like the
Mhm.
throne because I don't want to leave my bow anywhere somebody could steal it. And Tarquin, again, thank you for getting them to leave me my bow and only take the arrows.
Yeah, I'm. It's knowing how to play by the rules, but make the rules your own. It's kind of tricky with these things.
Ooh, I just had an idea. In terms of special effects, the portable hole, someone could disappear into it and then reappear mysteriously later.
That could
It's not really
definitely
in the
work.
plot, but that would be fantastic.
Or
Uh,
Xaxx could rise from the grave from it.
Oh,
Oh, it can be a hole in the
like
just
that.
on the ground.
Fill it
It would
with
Right.
be.
yeah.
And I can throw
Put
some
like a
dirt out
cup.
of it
Yeah, put
Yeah.
as
like
like a
maybe
Yeah.
stick, and then
cover over
like
the top.
crawl.
Well, we
Yeah.
don't want dirt in the hole, so maybe we put a rug over the hole with dirt on top,
Yeah.
and then you come out of the hole through
So
the rug.
we
Yeah.
probably need to have at least one scene with maybe the princess mourning the knight's grave, perhaps, just to show that connection. Like maybe as a
Or,
Yeah.
beginning scene.
well,
Oh,
I
we need
don't
to
know.
establish character motivation. Yeah.
I don't know if I need to be mourning Xaxx. I could just tell you. I mean, alas, I
Show,
love
don't tell.
my love is not there. You know, magician, entertain me. I need distraction from my heartbreak.
So
No, we start off with the noble, who he's full of triumph because he has managed to win the princess, and he will entertain her to show how rich he is. But he knows that she is too spirited and beautiful and young that he can never make her happy, so he will kill her after he gets her money. And then we
Yes.
cut to the princess, who is watching the amusing things, but alas, she is still sad. Why is she still sad? She looks over to her bodyguard, who looks back, and it is very sad. And when the bodyguard gets killed, he is reluctant to leave because his spirit cannot bear to leave the princess behind. But alas, death is too
So
strong.
I'm alive. I'm alive at the beginning. I thought I was dead at the beginning.
I mean, we could
Oh,
have.
I thought we were.
Someone
I thought
could
we were doing
go.
a bodyguard thing.
Well.
Yeah, I thought.
How
Yeah,
does he
I
know
was
he's
the
a
body.
His role is perhaps the bodyguard, but I'm wondering if maybe we should have her look towards an empty seat and then off into the distance where we see Xaxx's grave.
Ah, that is
So-
why she is
yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
That is why she has agreed to marry the noble, because her true love has
Yes.
gone.
Yeah.
Okay, that's better.
Or-
So
Alright, so
I've already.
she-
It
Or
took a
I
while to
haven't
put this makeup
agreed.
on, so I don't know if I could take it off right now. So
What
this
if?
is already the dead makeup.
What if?
Practical, yeah.
Or I haven't agreed to marry the noble. I mean, I've agreed to do it because my kingdom needs the money, but I will never love you.
Yeah,
I will
In
never
a
love you like
princess
my
bride
lost
sort of
love.
way.
Yeah.
She realizes she can never be happy without her lost love, so she decides rather than marrying for love, she will marry for the good of her people,
Money,
even if
yeah.
it will make her.
Oh, she is so noble and beautiful.
So, I have a great idea. So, what you just said then, marrying the cowardly noble because the risen knight is dead, and the failed magician tries to entertain the princess, but to no avail, and with that, the cowardly noble who is to be betrothed offs the magician for his bad performance, not making the princess happy.
Yeah,
And then
that works.
Then the knight comes in, fights the noble, tries to.
The failed magician's also supposed to rise the night.
Wait, there's a minstrel in here. Oh, what's the minstrel gonna do? There's the minstrel. Clapperclaw.
That was my sort of concept. Was if I'm doing this entertainment and it's failing, perhaps Clapclaw is just throwing in zingers to make it,
Yeah.
play off of that. So like, I do a bad card trick. It's like,
Oh.
looks like he wasn't very sharp with that or something.
Yeah. I'll also do like the scene transitions. So
Yeah.
I'll be like a sort of narrator, storyteller that sort of says, and now we see this scene, and I'll introduce the characters, and then
You set
you
the
know,
stage for everything.
yeah, I'll be like the storyteller who's like introduces and ends the scene from bit to bit.
Yeah.
The fool.
Also,
That's the fool. Yeah.
What if
also, I was thinking of combining your ideas. You want to off the failed magician, but he's mid spell as he's trying to resurrect the knight, and that's why he comes back as like a vengeful zombie instead of, you know,
maybe?
I don't know, maybe.
What if I do the magic at the end? Maybe I'm a mean-spirited servant, but in secret I'm a mean servant of the spirits.
Oh yes, you find the failed magician's book after he's killed, and you try to use it.
Throw like a million ideas out there and not know which one we're going with.
That's actually the greatest thing you can do, because the way this will work is I have to feed you lines as well, and you have to incorporate those lines into the story.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. So it can be that all these ideas do end up sort of branching out and becoming weird things. So this is good. It's not rigid. You don't want a rigid structure because these lines will throw you off, and that's the funniest part about it. So, all right.
Also,
at this point,
one other thing worth considering is Sopig is sort of here to disrupt performance. Let's just hope she doesn't disrupt ours.
I think she is.
So
Or maybe-
be ready
maybe-
for disruptions.
Maybe the disruption will make it better.
Perhaps.
if you could try and turn the disruption into aiding the story, then I'll be impressed. Well, this is all going to be completely off the cuff.
Messy. Yeah.
It is. It's going to be great. At this point, stage fright comes back and goes, "All right, that's enough picking out the props. I see. The throne, a good choice. Little tombstone. Oh, Xaxx, brilliant face paint. Okay. Oh, and you picked out my favorite wig. All right. Next is the dressing room. We'll finalize your costumes, and maybe you could even name your characters. All right. Follow me. This way.
I already named mine.
Perfect. Then you already know how to dress them.
I'm already dressed.
I mean, we could add a little bit of extra flair. The rest of you, right this way. So he leads you down a little corridor and draws the curtain behind it. And inside, resting against the walls of this circular chamber, are 3 dressing tables, each one with a mirror atop it. The mirrors are bordered by tiny balls of golden light, and they're quite bright as well to illuminate faces. An ornate, high-backed chair on clawed feet sits before each table, and slumped in one of the chairs is a bugbear. They are dressed in a green dragon-like outfit from the neck down, and on the floor nearby is the fake dragon head and tail to complete the costume.
Tarquin just sort of stares for a moment and just then walks over and it's just like, "So, this is where you've been."
What? You see the bugbear sort of sluggishly turn around to look at you, and then
I'm assuming this is the bugbear that we were looking for. It might not
stage
be.
fright says, "I'll give you 10 minutes, get into character, and then I'll come collect you for the performance. I gotta finalize the stage."
Oh my.
Is this Curly? Curly?
As you say that, he turns to you and with a confused look.
Unfairly?
You know Curly? Huh?
Curly?
Hurley is his name, is no?
Hurley,
Do
Burley,
you
Shirley.
do you have a brother? Brother.
It seems you've met them. Yes. I'm Hurley. Curly is my brother. He's probably still at the Witchlight Carnival.
Yep.
Yeah,
Should have taken his advice.
Yeah, you
Aren't
should
you-
have. Wouldn't have had to
aren't you-
come looking for you
Yeah.
otherwise.
Are you imprisoned here?
He turns around as you say that to look into the mirror, and as he kind of slouches in his chair, the reflection in the mirror is not of him, but a sort of sickly, haggard version of him. And he gestures to it as he says,
Might as well be a prison. I'm clearly not in Bitter End's good book.
Why?
He again gestures to the reflection, and as you look in the reflection, because you're sort of standing behind him now, Solomon, you see your own reflection, but it's slowly flaking away. Like it's deteriorating steadily.
Why?
The mirrors, they tell you if you're in favor with Bitter End or not. What?
But why?
What do you mean? Why? Stop asking questions.
No, I mean, why are you in the bad books?
Oh, well. He kind of kicks the dragon head.
I'm supposed to be in this tragedy called A Village No More, but I've given up trying to remember my lines.
That's perfect. We're about to put on a performance that practically has no lines. Wanna join?
I don't want to be a part of any play anymore. I
But
was half expecting her to demote me to stagehand, but
the end of the performance hopefully ends with good news and, well, good news for us. We're looking to leave with our things, and maybe you could leave with us. But you're gonna perform.
And go where? Back to the Witchlight Carnival? I wasn't that popular there either.
Well, you could always return to your brother and, you two go find a life of your own outside the carnival.
Life outside the carnival.
Yeah.
It'd take a lot to pull Hurley away. Curly even.
Oh,
He
He's
misses
much more
you.
likable than I am.
He misses you and sent us to find you and rescue you. Your brother loves you tremendously. Even if you don't want to go back to the carnival, you should at least let your brother know that you're alive and that you didn't die horribly, and that he didn't fail to protect you. I know it's
Brother.
trite, but family's everything.
if everything goes well, you could come live with me and my others on the grove that we keep trying to make.
He thinks for a moment. I should go see him, but I can't leave. Not at least without.
And as he stands up and he's trying to get those words out, you see his form in front of the bright little orbs of light, and they shine onto him. Everyone realizes Hurley is lacking his shadow.
Uh-oh.
I made a bargain with Endelin. I can't leave until 3 years have transpired, but I didn't realize she meant 3 years in Prismere. The Feywild doesn't necessarily equate 3 years to 3 material plane years.
Oh, it's been much longer than that by the seams of it. Weren't you the one that
Yeah.
chased us away in the carnival when we were kids?
Hmm. He kind of looks at you for a moment, like studies your face.
I don't recognize you.
Oh, no.
And then he looks to Tarquin or you.
Yeah, you probably won't recognize me. I used to be a rabbit. Well,
And
But
I
then he
may have
looks.
used to have been a rabbit.
And I used to be a girl. Well, I still
Oh,
kind of am, but
well.
not.
But wait, he does look, and as he's scanning the room, does recognize Xaxx because out of everyone, they've barely changed at all.
Yes. You were the kids running amok in the carnival. I apologize.
We're here to
I-
rescue you.
He actually does chuckle to himself.
Yeah,
I remember you. You were troublemakers back then. I had to
we-
throw
We're
some.
troublemakers now too.
I
Yeah.
think I had to throw a pumpkin at you that may have knocked you out. Apologies for that, but it was for your own safety.
So, listen, we've come a long way for a few things, and you're one of them.
You came all this way for me.
Well,
Yeah.
for
Yep.
Hurley and you.
Yeah, we.
Hurley. Go on.
Yeah, we've got a lot of things we're doing, and you're sort of one of the things we're here for. One of the more important ones, but not the only.
Wow. Huh. I've just been mulling away here, biding my time. I didn't realize anyone was searching. As explained, I can't leave unless Enderlin allows it, I guess. Or if 3 years really have transpired.
Well, I think if things go the way that we plan with this play, it will make her very happy, and hopefully that will mean everybody gets what they want.
I have a sort of weird idea to sort of play this bargain. You said 3 years, but they never specified what kind of 3 years, right? They just said 3
Right.
years.
I was assuming 3 years where we're from.
Well, what if? Because as part of this play we're going to be doing, we're doing this scene where the princess ends up sort of immortal sort of thing. What if we do like a 3 years later thing and you're a character at that point? So technically 3 years have passed in the play, so technically you've been 3 years.
Yeah, what if he's in the play and the night doesn't rise until after 3 years? So then we've had the 3-year jump.
Or
Time jumps. Everybody loves time jumps.
Well,
that's
I
good.
was thinking the time jump would work for that whole bit near the end where, you know, the princess realizes she can't die, so like 3 years later we see that. Maybe even have her fight against the bugbear to try to against you or in your dragon suit to try to kill herself, but even then she can't. Even against like the might of a dragon, her immortality for whatever reason won't fail her.
Okay. All right. I can give it a shot.
And that way we've got the whole
As long as I don't have to remember any lines.
No, literally you'll just have to attack the princess. And perhaps, in order to introduce the dragon earlier, perhaps we could have a sort of soliloquy with the princess where she prays out to the dragon to bring her beloved back to her. And that's what helps him rise initially. So the dragon character is introduced before the 3-year gap. So it's not just out of nowhere.
Well, or the knight was tricked into fighting the dragon killed the knight, and that's how he died.
Yeah, you could cut. Oh, yeah, that could work. You could have a line like, "You took away my beloved, now end my life like you did his." And
Exactly.
And then the dragon
That's
keeps
good.
trying but fails.
Right.
Can we write all this down?
But we're gonna have to sort of ad-lib it anyway, and we're gonna have extra lines thrown at us, so we'll just
I have already forgotten other plot twists and which one we are going with. So
I'm gonna forget this. Who am I killing? Everybody?
Right, so
you need to have at least one scene where you just like old boy through the entire stage.
so
Just kill
Yeah,
everyone.
that's basically the plot of the.
So the main star will at this feast, me doing the entertainment with Clapperclaw doing his whole making joke lines to bring down like how bad my performance is. The princess is looking away forlornly, and we cut to the grave where her lost love is. Perhaps, and then obviously, the mean-spirited servant perhaps delivers the poison, like because it's on the noble's orders. But
yeah, at which point the noble cackles in triumph and reveals his entire plot.
Yeah, and then
Who am I giving the poison to again?
you're giving it to
Me.
the princess,
Okay.
Yeah.
and
So
then
But she has to stay alive at the end, right?
No,
She's gonna stay
but
alive
no,
at the end, and
no, the prince, you've come back from the dead, killed everyone, and then you try to, with the help of the magician, try to give your life to bring her back, and it sort of works, but it makes her immortal, and she tries to kill herself because she's lost you again. Perhaps you even have that moment, like after you defeated the noble, you hold her in your arms and beg someone for help, and the magician tries. And then you die, she comes back, she tries to kill herself but can't, then she goes to the dragon to try to get killed there, because maybe mortal hands can't do it, but something as powerful as a dragon can, but even that can't. And the dragon's what killed you originally, which is why you've come back as a draconic spirit. Because
draconic spirit knight, okay.
Solomon's got a bit of ink, and he's got like bits of his leaves, and he's writing on the leaves, and then as he gets to the end of the leaf, it's crumbled and just fallen between his fingers, like, yeah, I got this.
Right. Basically, so we probably want the cowardly noble to raise a toast, perhaps to the marriage and the union of the two kingdoms or something, and then just give like a nod or a look towards or perhaps before the toast, a nod and a look towards Solomon, and that's when Solomon delivers the special drink.
Right.
With the butter, right? For the toast.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
And if we want to get past like food taster sort of things, perhaps it's not the drink that's poisoned, but the inside of the cup. Not sure if that will come up, but just a thing, just in case.
I can work that into this is the special cup of my people that only gets served to the bride or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Because that way, because you'll get,
no one else will drink from it.
Yeah, you'll get some critic or something in the audience who'll be like, "Oh, the princess would have food tasters, it would have never got through." And that's where the explanation is. So
the offering to the princess for her hand betrothal.
Yes.
Right. If you're wearing gloves and the servant's wearing gloves, then I'm not. Then it could be any kind of a oil or anything on the outside.
Yeah. Or it could be like laced on the inside, perhaps.
On the inside, yeah.
Either way, like it will make sense. I trust in Rodolfo's ad lib. You've kind of got the nobility thing going anyway.
It seems like a pretty common stage convention that if everyone's drinking from the same bottle, then it's fine. But there's a special cup, and the special cup is somehow poisoned.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter how or what the type of poison is.
Yeah.
But it's instant and terrible.
Yeah. We can sort of maybe even have a sort of soliloquy moment if you want, Rodolfo, where it's like, yes, as soon as she drinks from that cup, she will die, and then everything will be mine.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, cowardly in that you're using poison, because that's a dick move. Everyone knows that.
Everyone knows that. Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Okay.
This is a pretty
It's-
well
it's-
established trope. I like it.
It's the glass that's poisoned, not the drink, because
Yeah.
everybody
Not
else
the
has
drink.
drink as
Yeah.
well. Yeah,
Because yeah,
that's the
Yeah.
key.
Okay.
It's a clever way of
I've
getting
also
things
made a
past.
I'll make a big show of calling the servant over to deliver this special, prized, beautiful chalice.
Yes.
All right. Soliloquy for Rodolfo. Then the princess is poisoned, and then the knight comes. How does the knight come back from the dead?
So the knight comes back
We
from the
have the
dead. So after the poison is delivered, the mean spirited servant can perhaps walk off stage, and that will allow him to do like his magic in order to do the lightning bolt to shatter the grave and bring back. And that's when the knight rises and comes in, and is like, I don't know, says something like, "You foul noble, you sent me to my death, and now you have killed my beloved, and now you shall die by my sword."
Right.
Or my
Okay.
claws.
Knight comes
or...
back. So he kills the noble.
Yeah. And
And
then
then-
holds, like, the princess in his arms, the classic, like...
Old dead princess. Yeah.
Well, I think she's not 100% dead. Like, she perhaps has that moment of, like, my love, you came back
Alas,
to me.
I, alas, I am undone. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Yeah.
And then the
Dying
knight,
princess.
the knight calls out for anyone to help. The magician tries to use his magic, but being a failed magician, it, of course, backfires. But it works,
Yeah.
but doesn't work. The knight's life is taken. The
Yeah.
princess is brought back, but then she has a whole moment seeing like, no, I can't have lost him again. No. And then tries
Princess
to
is
kill
an
herself.
immortal. Yeah. All right. Cool. I think.
And then
it now.
obviously, then we have the moment with she goes to the dragon. The dragon can't kill her
Yeah.
either.
Tries against the dragon, and then.
And then it's just her in despair at the end because
Yeah.
she can never reunite with her
Gotcha.
love. His sacrifice to bring her back ended up punishing her greater than any punishment that was inflicted on the noble, sort of thing.
And the
Crazy.
noble comes back in the last scene and leads her away by the hand.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
leads away. Yeah. Yeah, like the noble ended up somehow coming back. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't
The
know
noble-
how.
Oh,
Like, can we have him not die? Or
can have
like
him-
he doesn't actually die. Like you see him like heavily injured, and he
He-
comes to lead
or
her
he
away.
or he runs away. I think he needs to survive because he needs
What
to.
about
He needs to be the
the-
orchestrator of her torment.
what about the mean-spirited servant? Also brings him back as well.
Yeah, that could work.
Okay.
That could work.
Yeah.
Because he's the one who brought back the knight in the first place. He's clearly got
Yeah.
some way of.
We could. I'm wondering.
Or what?
What
I was
if-
thinking like
What if the
like-
noble is actually dead but torments her as a spirit?
Yes.
I think the knight doesn't
Oh,
manage
yeah.
to kill him because it's sadder if he's done all this and he doesn't even manage to get revenge. Like he has not even accomplished that much.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah, it's gotta be.
he
It's gotta
does.
be sad all around.
It's got to be sad all around. So
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
can't.
you're right.
He can't achieve his revenge. So the noble has to get away because he has to survive.
Okay.
So he's killed all these people. His princess is dead,
And
and the noble somehow escapes.
Yeah,
And it's like,
he's a
no.
coward, right? He
Yeah.
probably
Yes.
uses some people
Oh
to,
yeah, he absolutely
to
runs away.
sacrifice to get
Yeah.
away. Yeah.
Pat. No. That,
I think we're ready.
yeah.
I think you've got it. That's a lot. Plenty of stuff there. 100%. You've got a skeleton, and you'll just have to wing it as you go. But I'll help you from scene to scene. I've got most of the bullet points down. All right. Now I noticed, Xaxx, you did actually wander into this other room. So
Oh yeah, I did that first, and then I didn't. Maybe I wasn't supposed to be there.
okay. No, that's fine. This is just a curtain that you draw back. You can hear voices of murmuring here, and there's beds and like a little table with supplies on there. The walls of this kind of gloomy chamber are lined with the black veiled compartments that seem to contain makeshift beds. The furniture is pretty sparse. The wooden tables and chairs are occupied at the moment by a few performers, by the looks, other actors. And there's a box of junk in one corner and flickering lanterns resting here and there. Two of the performers are nervously pacing back and forth, whilst the others at the table, they're kind of really sad. You can hear one of them sort of weeping as you draw the curtain, and then they try to sniffle and contain their emotions a bit.
Greetings, fellow deviants.
Hello?
Hi. Are you joining us for the play today as we make a play?
I'm sorry. I don't think I have it in me at the moment.
Well, are you are you imprisoned here too?
You'd see this one introduces themselves as yes, I'm Elegy. This is a
Elegy.
female tiefling. I come from Sigil.
Sigil. I know Sigil.
She seems to have like a tiefling skull on the table as well.
Oh. Is that
But yeah.
your family member?
It might be. I thought it was just a prop. But
maybe it's just
feels
a prop,
like a
right?
real skull. I couldn't tell you. You see another halfling in the corner is the one kind of crying. Their tears are falling onto a studied script, and the pages have become wrinkled from his tears.
Are you actors? You're all actors here?
Yes, we are.
Is this what happens when you act for too long?
This is what happens when Creepingling hates you.
Oh. Did you get a bad review?
It feels almost impossible to win her favor. Tried every gruesome, depressing story on her stage. Tried everything. It's very hard to please.
What about okay. Here's one. All right, so you guys are a troupe of sorts. You're like a gang, and you like to drift your horses, and you're out racing your horses, and you.
Oh no!
But
I know where this is going.
But one of you, you get caught up in the wrong people, and they kill you and your horse, or one of you and your horse, and the others have to go on a revenge. I like the revenge things.
Don't forget to
A
tell them
revenge
it's
thing.
my family.
Oh yeah, it's all about family. Yeah, because it's you don't have what is it? You don't have friends. You've got family. Something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you can get like 10 or 11 plays out of that.
Oh, you should write this down, Puff. And the Lightfoot halfling starts to scribble.
But the key thing is that the most important thing is the naming convention of each of the plays has to make 0 sense from one play to another. Right? So you start off as, the horses are furious, and then the next one it's 2 horse 2 furious, just the number 2 for whatever reason twice in there. And then it's the horse and the furious sigil drift. And then it's horse 5 for whatever reason, but it's not the number 5, it's just the word 5. So that's my idea for you.
As you're just recounting these, there's just one person who is sobbing uncontrollably in the corner, like knowing that probably has no hope of going anywhere. The others seem maybe interested, but this one just is given into total despair.
I think you can make lots and lots of money out of that.
Wait.
Yeah, there's a feud between 2 of the main actors as well.
Oh
despite
yeah.
the news.
Wait, if
And
2 Horse 2 Furious has 2 twos, wouldn't that make it the 4th one?
It's surprisingly no.
Oh.
That's why the naming convention has to make 0 sense. And the characters also, if they're enemies in one movie, they're like best friends the next movie with zero explanation. And you're gonna need a lot of like work on the like wire work and whatnot, because physics doesn't make any sense in this world at
Oh,
all.
and what if two of them can never lose a fight against each other or race?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
contractually that they can never lose a fight or a race.
And
And
it needs to get
and
like bigger and more elaborate each time. So it starts off just like
Yeah.
racing, and then next time you're like stealing a Tarrasque or something from someone.
yeah, you have to like get the horse to space in the Tarrasque to blow up, or else some god will have everybody's face for some reason or something like that. I don't know.
Why isn't this our play?
Because it's
Uh,
many plays and we don't have time to do them all.
Yeah, it's true. One of the other actors, this is a forest gnome, who's been burying their face in the cushion next to you for this time, suddenly like lifts their head up and goes, "But this sounds like an action more than a tragedy. But if you could give it a shot."
Every once in a while, like a character is gonna die, and everybody's gonna be super sad, and you have to drink the same. You're gonna have to drink Coronas the entire time.
Yeah.
Oh
And talk about
no!
how they were family.
Which, to be honest, is the biggest tragedy of them all.
Oh
Yeah.
god, no!
But yeah, so, and probably one of the big things, you want like a character to die in one of them, and then in the next one, like the person who killed them's the bad guy, but then somehow they become a friend in the next one because apparently
And
the bonds didn't really matter that much.
Yeah, and then the person who was dead has come back with like no memory, and so the tragedy is that they don't remember who they are, and the other family members are gonna have to, in a very elaborate and zero physics making sense, remind them of who they are.
Yeah.
See,
Wow.
I think the biggest tragedy in all this will be that for them to finish the story, they'll have to watch till the very last one, and that's so super tragic.
And
Yeah, it's
and
yeah, and another tragedy, because you got as many tragedies. Another one is that in one of the movies, there's gonna be like a fan favorite character, but we'll never see them again because the studio doesn't like the actress.
yeah.
Well,
And if one of you actually dies, like really dies, then you've got to replace yourselves with an identical version using some just slight magic
but
and never
This is-
explain it.
this sounds like
Yeah.
a whole franchise.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you do the first
French
one to
fries?
keep them in, and then you have more. You need sequels. I mean,
Yeah.
we're the sequel to ours is probably going to be the perhaps. Oh yeah, that would be a good sequel idea. Probably won't go into that spoilers, but yeah.
They appreciate your efforts.
They
in-
are confused and scared.
Yeah, some of them are sobbing uncontrollably. Another one's been muttering to themselves, like, "What the hell is this?" And then others have seemed to be listening intently. But overall, they do seem to enjoy the idea of at least giving them hope for a new story. I'll tell you what, they say. Oh, go on.
I was going to say, just quickly, are any of you... Can't remember the name of the person that Endlin said I needed to trade the kite with, because I swear they said they're not at the prop room.
They said Charme.
Yeah, any of you Charme?
Charme. No, she's in the understage at the moment.
I'll talk to them later, it's fine.
I can fetch him if you want.
No, I think we've got to go on soon. I think I can hear the distinctive footsteps of stage fright.
All right.
Tell them to meet me after the play.
You guys have been a big help, actually.
Yeah.
Do you want to just, I don't know, help yourselves to something over there? And they gesture towards the corner with the big, cluttered boxes. You know, reciprocity and all that.
I'll have a look.
Ooh,
So
each.
in these,
it's full of rings of protection.
in the boxes in the corner, it contains the belongings of many actors. And you see the gnome sort of gesture and say, "Yeah, these are all the other actors who've perished in Motherhorn. Some died of natural causes because they've been here such a long time. Others did succumb to the hands of Endelyn. Her minions, you know, if you try to escape. Sometimes even jealous rivals. Anyway, help yourself to any junk in there. As you start rooting around, yeah, you can pick out some
I-
bits.
Is there can I detect magic? Is there anything magical in this pile?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, there is. Actually. Okay, so something that sticks out immediately as you're sifting through. Yeah, it's underneath a powder brush with a painted handle sculpted to resemble a bunch of roses. You lift that out of the way, and underneath is a glowing stick. It is giving off transmutation magic,
Mm-hmm.
and you can give me an Arcana check to sort of determine what the heck this thing is.
Alrighty.
Oh,
Oof. No. No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Not 100% sure what this could be, but your
He
best
waves. He
guess
waves
is
it around. Hey, this is something. It's shiny.
this is the exact image that you find, though. It is a long, thin, slender stick, and at the end there's this twirling silk web coming from this crystalline spider.
Ooh.
Could be anything,
Okay.
but it's definitely magical.
I think if no one objects, I will take this to be my noble scepter of
Yep.
evil.
Yep, it's got that look. Perhaps you can even tap the glass with it, like, and that's you dropping the poisoning because it's hidden in the crystal.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
Ooh,
That's
yeah.
very visual.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And what else? There is a golden hand mirror. And
Oh,
as you
that'd
look
be good
in,
for the princess to have.
Mm-hmm.
yes, certainly. Okay. The time when you pick it up, it has
Yes.
your reflection, but it has removed all wrinkles, blemishes, and scars from the onlooker's
Ooh.
reflection. I don't imagine Tanwen has many. Maybe a few scrapes from branches have left a couple of marks, but they don't appear in the actual reflection.
Interesting. As long as it doesn't steal my shadow, I'm okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's also probably fetches quite a price as well, considering it's made of gold. Doesn't look like the fake gold that was painted on earlier. So feel free to add these to your inventory. And for now, just put on your sheet, Rodolfo, unidentified wand or
Okay.
dark spell binding scepter or whatever you have in mind. But I'll
Spider one does whatever a spider one does.
spider wand, yeah. And yeah, those are the most expensive looking things in here. But other than that, you also find items of clothing, jewelry, etc.
is there like a computer tray?
Sure.
Yeah. Then I
It's
can
a little bit,
put the cup on it.
Is there anything
yeah,
magician-y?
it's a little bit bent, but
No.
being pewter, you can actually just bend it back into place. Anything magician-y? Yes, absolutely. You can imagine a lot of these performers come from backgrounds either in the circus or theatre. So, as such, there are sort of elaborate outfits, ones that are better made, and ones that aren't like in disrepair from being constantly used. You find a nice outfit. I'll let you describe however it appears.
Yep. Tarquin just finds his exact outfit just somehow fancier.
Yeah.
The top hat's a couple of inches taller.
Mm-hmm.
The buttons are real gold or something instead.
Perfect.
Xaxx is gonna try to find the most quote unquote authentic dead knight costume he can find that like pieces together nicely with the makeup and everything.
Hmm.
Trying to
Okay.
trying to really impress with the visuals, like not do it cheaply.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's probably like a helmet in there with it's missing its visor,
Yeah.
so your face is still visible.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
rules of you can never wear a helmet when going into battle, or else people don't know who you are.
Right.
I
Okay.
just had one other potentially good idea, Xaxx. If we're planning to do the whole link to the moon thing that we were thinking of, maybe you could cast like moonbeam on the grave at the point, and it starts off with the moon going over the grave slowly, and that's when the lightning bolt strikes.
Maybe there's lighting people that can do that. I'm
Maybe.
in my head. In your head, you're gonna hear, "I need to save my spells for what comes after this."
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Sopig actually comes around the corner and mentions, "Oh yeah, there are lights actually. I've been practicing with them. They're like little containers with continual flames in them, and they have little shutters on them to adjust the lighting."
All right. Um.
Hi everyone, by the way, you look
Hi.
great.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
We all ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Ready for
Stage fright. Stage fright. Glad to hear you're getting into your parts. Have you all come up with a name for your characters yet?
Yes, I am the Great Zambini.
Ah, perfect. Step right here, Zambini. Okay, and then we have.
I can't figure out how to change my name on my token.
If you double right click it, and then you should see token name.
I did that and it didn't change anything. Hang on.
No. Then you got to click update token afterwards.
Okay, let's try.
And we have Claude, the mean-spirited spirit servant.
Yes, I'm Claude.
Claude, good.
Yes.
We have Greg, the risen knight. Perfect.
God, we can
No,
never
the
stop
mighty
Greg.
Greg. Hello.
What do you want your name to be, Rodolfo? I can change it for you.
I'm just changing it now.
Okay.
His name is Malodor.
Oh, that's spine-tingling, that name. Right. And finally,
I
the
need a
high
fun
and
name.
mighty... Yeah.
Can't you just Greg?
God damn it, Greg. And what about the high and mighty princess?
I should
What's
be
your
named
name?
Princess. Princess. I am a
Princess?
name and a title. I am Princess.
Princess...
Whole aesthetic.
Oh, I see. So you're a princess high and mighty.
Yes.
Gotcha.
High
I
End
guess
is her middle name, and yeah, Mighty is her last name.
Perfect.
Parents hate
Adjust
stuff.
that. There we go. And all right, looks like everyone's here. And we got Chip, the foolish minstrel.
Yep.
Perfect.
Chip.
And
He's a
we've
chip off
also
the
got
old
our
block.
dragon, who will need it at a later stage.
Ah, yes. Herculean dragon.
Yes.
I'll just keep it as Hurley. Hurley for short.
Yes. The great and
All right, then.
terrible Hurly-burly just... I don't know.
If in that case, feels like we're all ready. Let's follow me to the stage. I've already informed Endlin that we'll be starting in 10 minutes.
who's our judge? Who should we be playing to?
Yes, they will be seated front and center.
Who is they?
Their name is Charme.
Charme.
I wanted to speak to them, but I'll speak to them afterwards. Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure you'll have plenty of opportunity. And as you're led around, where is Charme?
Damn it, I'm tempted to try to be cheeky.
There they are. Okay. There she is. Nope. Not change that. Charme. Okay. So, yes, as you come back around into the main amphitheater, there's a lot of stirring and voices being heard. The stalls have already been filled out. There are dozens of darklings. They are all gathered here. Probably. Oh, we left. Sorry, I left Melador. Somehow you got
Alright.
left behind. My bad.
I got left behind. I'll make my way over. Come on.
All right. And so big.
A noble is not late. Everyone else is just early.
That's right. Okay. So I'm not going to put all their tokens down because there is like literally dozens, but imagine every one of these little stands are filled. Yeah, filled to the brim with darklings, and sat, or probably standing at this point, waiting for the new actors to come in, is this tall, dark-haired woman. She has a full outfit. It's like that of a almost like a noblewoman with these kind of feathers, a ruffle of feathers around her shoulders, and you see there's face paint over her eyes, like two kind of blue spikes. She's got dark lipstick and kind of golden jewelry, and her hair's kind of tied back in this large bun. And she seems quite elegant and presents herself very well. And she actually has a very long scepter in hand as well that she's sort of just steadily leaning against. And I'll have to grab artwork for you to have a look at. Where is the... Yes, you always have Detect Magic out, don't you?
Yep.
So yeah, you would also see that her staff is definitely magical as well. And it has evocation.
Okay. That doesn't tell me a whole lot, but...
Evocation could be like energy.
Right, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I can't tell who she is. Like if it was
No.
necromancy or whatever, I'd have a better idea of what she was doing there. But I can't tell
Exactly,
her
yeah.
motivation.
Here she is. This is Jamey.
Ooh, fancy.
Yes, very fancy, you could say.
Mhm.
But yeah, you kind of get a definite air of confidence from her. And she looks around. She doesn't seem to have any kind of like loyalties to these darklings because they seem to be keeping their distance. And she's looking around, and then she kind of peers up, and she is staring at the balcony way up and above, and that is where you see Endlin Moongrave just appearing almost out of shadow. She has her own little booth, you could call it, away from the rest of the rabble down here. So I'll drag her onto the map, but she is like probably 80 foot up or at some height.
80 feet tall? Holy cow.
I think she's up there. Yeah. I'll have to check. But I'm pretty sure she's way up and above.
And Charmaine is she in the front row or in the middle or?
She is standing she's sort of standing center at the moment.
Okay.
But she just kind of looks around. She spots you guys and gives you a nod. You could go talk to her if you want now, or if you want to get up on the stage and get ready. That's up to you. So Pig quickly darts off behind the stage. Seems like something has got her all excited. And we'll put some of the other performers and actors here as well. We're also eager to see what other talents have arrived in Motherhorn.
Rodolfo is going to try talking to her.
Okay. Yeah, you can approach.
Yes. Bonjour, enchanté, madame. My name is Rodolfo de Basque. I have the pleasure of being one of your entertainers today. May I ask your name?
Oh, you're the ones everyone's been talking about. My name is Charme. At least, that's what I'm known as around here.
Jamey, how
Everyone-
delightful. Hmm.
Everyone sort of has their on-stage name and off-stage name.
Are you an
I take-
actress yourself, madame?
I am. Recently, in fact. Just took up the position not too long ago. My previous employees were not to my liking anymore. There was more potential here.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that your staff was unimpressive, but servants can be like that sometimes. So we will hope for better things in the future. May I ask what is your favorite type of play?
Well, it seems the plays here are all based on tragedy, and I've been in a bit of a kind of a down mood at the moment. I feel like this will be fitting for my tastes. Something with betrayal, something with treachery. Those are my favorite.
Betrayal
Twists and
treachery.
turns.
Yes.
Mm.
Well, this doesn't seem to be the theater of tragedy. So we will hope for an auspicious story for you. But
I look forward to it.
Rodolfo is going to try and cast Charm Person.
Okay.
Is she a person? Is she?
She is. She
Okay.
does look humanoid in nature. Oh boy.
Yep. He almost never gets to use this, but this seems like a good time to try that. This may or may not be a good idea. We'll see.
Okay. Charm person in the middle of the whole stage where there are lots of people looking around. It's not the most subtle spell. Let's just remind you of that. It does
okay.
involve like hand waving and gestures. The person you charm, though, if they do fall under, then they can't stop that, right?
Yeah. So can I say like he's being expressive in his like he's all dressed up. He's got the wig. He's waving the scepter around. He's kind of being in an actorly thing to try and disguise some of this.
Okay, so you're sort of doing a little
So I want
demonstration of
a little bit of deception or stealth or however you want to
Okay.
call that.
Yes,
And
you can either
in this
give me
conversation, he's talking and he's sort of looking around and he's going, "Isn't this a magnificent theater?" And he's waving his arms and looking past her, and
I will allow also a performance instead as well to sort of perhaps you're giving a little demonstration of what your character does, and then
yes,
you wish whoosh, and then suddenly you cast the spell.
like
So
he's obviously trying to earn her favor. I don't think that's very subtle.
okay, your spell is fairly disguised in amongst the demonstration.
Yeah.
So I will allow you to cast this without anyone necessarily noticing. Enderlin's way up and above anyway. She's got a better view of the stage than she does down directly below her. The other Darklings are looking at the rest of the characters. So, all right, you can
She
cast
succeeds.
the spell. She
Yep,
does succeed.
She does succeed. That's
Ah,
fine.
Sorry.
That's okay. I
Now,
really my whole charismatic focus is just I don't think has ever worked.
such a shame. However, though, you give me an insight check as well.
Mhm.
Natural 20 for that.
Ooh.
Okay. The way she talks about previous employers and the fact that she talks about now she's in the mood for some sort of
Treachery.
betrayal theme or treacherous theme gives you the impression she did tell you she wasn't really an actor. She's only just become an actor. And the fact that you can tell she has clearly a magical staff gives you the impression she is some sort of enchantress herself or sorcerer, maybe. You're not entirely sure. But then you spot it. There is some sort of marking on her cheek. It's quite obvious if it wasn't for the fact there was face paint over it. But on her left cheek, there is a symbol. It is a chicken's foot.
Mm.
And then
Okay.
you kind of clock it. That symbol, you've seen it before somewhere. In fact, I'm going to whisper you. Everyone else knows this, but I'm going to whisper you anyway, just to remind you. Where is Serotonin? There it is. And
Okay.
you get the impression she is some sort of caster, perhaps, with a nat 20 and what I just whispered you. You can probably figure that out.
Yep.
And who her previous employers were, you're not sure, but you get the idea that she's probably turned against them, and that's why she's in the mood for some sort of treacherous or betrayal-like theme. Which just so happens that you've got that in amongst your play, so that works well.
Well, when I go back, I'm going to whisper to them that like we need to play up the treachery, the deception, rather than just the love story.
Yeah, lean into it. Yeah,
really lean into it. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, she looks at you after you finish this spell, and she sort of raises an eyebrow and looks at you with this kind of bewitching, twinkling aura in her own eyes. And you sense that she senses there's some sort of magical exchange.
Well, I am a performer, madame. You can hardly blame me for wanting to speak to an appreciative audience.
Yes, magic is definitely an aid in which you can use for all things, not just performance. I'm looking forward to how you implement it.
Madame, our goal is only to please.
She nods.
Yeah.
And says, well, looks like the rest of your friends are taking their places. Wouldn't want to miss the opening act.
You would excuse me. And he ducks away awkwardly.
She sort of...
he'll whisper, treachery and deception. We want treachery and deception. Can we... Maybe the servant can lie some more to the nobleman. The nobleman will lie about what he intends with the girl. I don't know.
Are we opening Rodolfo with you or with me and the entertainers? I didn't understand in the very last what we had decided.
Well, it's meant to be like a grand feast celebrating things, right?
Yeah, we open up with a party.
Okay.
And then he'll have like an aside with the servant going like, now while everyone is distracted, fetch me my poison.
Okay. All right.
Am I at the party? Or am I dead already?
You're dead, so we need you in the grave.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
There should be an empty seat in place that's for you, perhaps.
Oh, yes.
It's a shame we don't have a... Just quickly dashes back to the prop room. Is there like a plush dragon or like a little toy dragon that can just be in the seat?
Yes, there is. There's a bunch of different dolls as well.
Right.
Hold on, actually, could you say it specifically? Let me just find it. Yes, there is a small wooden cradle with a baby goblin doll, and it seems to continually cry when the key sticking out of its neck is turned. And you can find a small little similar doll or dragon. You could even dress this in a costume.
Yeah, so that
and use that.
That will be perhaps. Oh, that could even be sitting on the princess's lap. She sort of looks down to it, then looks to the grave, like, if only you were here, sort of thing.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quickly
I have got a lot of tabs open. Let me just tidy up a bit here. Okay. Jamey. Endlin's up there. You're on the stage. All right. Okay. If you guys are ready, I'm ready.
So we've got like the table where everyone sat at, and then the wall behind them with a window looming to like a hill with a grave on it.
Yeah, that's good.
Nice.
Oh,
Yes.
the grave of
Okay.
dead Greg.
Oh, Greg, so noble, and yet so dead.
He was the greatest knight, the great knight Greg. Now he is dead Greg.
I'm gonna be in that
Greg.
corner hiding.
Dead
What-
Greg can be
what-
dead serious.
What a grave loss.
Yes.
Okay. The throne is also set up for you, so the scene can be transitioned. All the little backdrops are on wheels, and you can see Soapig's ready to like push one out. So the opening scene is that hill, right? You're going to be outside the grave, or
Well, no, they'll be at the
the ball.
feast, but looking
The
out
feast,
into
okay.
the distance through a window where you'll see the grave in the distance.
Okay,
Mhm,
gotcha.
mhm.
In that case, then the feasting hall set is also pulled on, with one of the windows is cut out so that you can see the backdrop behind it. The curtains are closed at the moment, of course, but your positions, you want Tarquin, Great Zambini and Chip are on stage, as well as the princess on their throne. And as you sit on the throne, Tanwen, it's a little uncomfortable. The cushion you was expecting to be so cozy and plump. There's something odd and angular, like it's like there's a lump in it.
Is it
All
a
right.
T?
It's a hard lump.
Okay, since the curtains haven't opened, I'll stand up really quick and go, "Oh my gosh, this is horrible," and examine the cushion to
Okay.
see what's wrong with it.
You lift up the cushion, plump it back up, and suddenly the kind of hard angular shape is gone from it, like when you're plumping it.
That's odd. Is there like an opening to the cushion where I can access the stuffing?
There is.
I
Yes.
don't want to say zipper, but are there hooks or buttons or something?
Yeah.
Okay, I will undo the buttons and then reach inside to see what's inside.
Something heavy has dropped to the bottom of the bottom corner, and as you reach right in there, you find you feel something cold and metallic.
Okay, I will
Fits into
definitely
the palm of your hand.
pull it out to look to see what it is.
Yeah. You pull out a key.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Let's see.
yeah. I am gonna drop this down the front of my bodice.
Okay.
And so, and I will gesture. Who's closest to me? Rodolfo.
Yep.
I'm gonna say, I just found a key.
I'll put
And
that
then
in your bodice for later.
yes.
Already done. The key itself is, let's see. Da-da-da. It's an iron key.
Okay.
You haven't, no idea what it unlocks, but put that on your sheet for now. Just put iron
Okay.
key,
Can I
and
just keep an eye out for an iron lock of that size, just in the
Yeah,
background of whatever's
for
going on?
sure. I'm also going to
Okay.
edit it so I can put something just so I know what it opens later, just as a note to myself.
Okay.
Okay.
Really quick question. Is this like the size of a dagger? Is it a small key? Is it medium size, large?
It's a smaller key.
Okay.
You'd expect it's bigger than a lockbox, but smaller than a portcullis, bigger than a lockbox. So I guess actually more like a medium-sized key. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's put that on your sheet. Change it. Iron key. Cool. And then I'm just going to put this in the description. You have no idea what that means. I do, though. Cool. All right.
Okay.
Perfect. So, yep, you find that, and the curtains are getting ready to be drawn. Stage fright is right. I got the script here. I'm just going to feed you some lines when necessary. Okay. In fact, I'll give you your first lines right now. Okay, you can get the juices flowing. All right. Let me see. You each get one. And once you've finished that line, once you've implemented it into the play, I'll feed you the next one, right? You just sort of weave it in seamlessly. The better the line works, the better the play will flow, okay? Don't just throw it in haphazardly.
Seems very complicated.
Oh, it is.
You sure we can't just improvise?
Oh, improvise all you want. But if you manage to slip these lines in, all the better.
Okay.
Understand?
Understood.
Okay. All right. So for you then, Malodor, your line is. Okay, right. We just. I don't know how to copy paste these.
You copy pasting it specifically to us, so
I'm gonna whisper, each of you
don't put it-
individually.
don't put it in chat. Be funnier that way.
You want me to put it in chat?
No, don't
So
don't put it in chat.
all right. So you don't know what lines each person has.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You're just gonna. It might feel. Oh, that's perfect for. That's perfect for you. What's your name? I'm trying to remember. Claude.
Malador?
Yes.
Oh,
I was gonna
Oh,
go
God.
for Claude. Okay, whisper. Jamey.
Oh, is this on a table? You're rolling on a table?
Yes,
for it?
I'm rolling on a table. There's 80 lines, by the way.
80?
There's a lot. 80,
Wow.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna grab that one. And don't worry, I've got it so I don't get repeats. Okay, that's yours. Okay, I'm gonna get Brandy's one.
Oh, that is perfect.
Yeah.
Is the line, I'm going to poison you now?
If only.
Yeah. There's that one. Now for Tarquin. Okay. Random.
Who's Oh, Great Zambini.
Yep.
Zero Zambini, yeah. Whisper. This would be so easier in person. I could give you like little notes, but I'll just be whispering you guys. James, there you go. And then Clapper. Oh no, actually, give this one to. Brent. No, who am I missing?
I don't have one yet.
Okay, gotcha. Fine, this one's yours. Don't know how you could fit this one in, but
By us having to get the line in, does it have to be that exact line, or can it be most of that line and I like add in extra words in the middle, for example?
you can.
Because I
You
have
gotta
a way
deliver-
Because I have a way to fit that line, but I need some extra words between the first word and the rest.
Okay, I'll let you be as creative. Add your
Yeah.
own artistic license to it.
Yeah.
All right, and then finally Clapperclaw's line.
Okay. That's going to be interesting. You'll have to work
What's
out
that?
where to fit that, I guess, Chris.
Wait, that one's for you, right? Did you see your one?
I've got my one at the moment.
You got one.
Yeah.
You didn't see my one though, did you?
No.
Okay, all right.
No, it's just
All right,
saying,
I've got-
you'll have to work out where to fit your one, I guess.
Yeah, Clapperclaw will figure it out, I'm sure. Okay, got to keep this open. So, really, I'm going to hand this mostly over to you to aid in describing and setting the scene. But what's actually happening right now, you can already hear the voices kind of quietening down as stage fright walks on the main stage. He says, "One and all, ghouls and girls, welcome to Motherhorn's
tragic stage. Today we have new performers for you. They will be performing a play known as A Tragedy in the Making. These are actors from far and wide, so they're here to give you something new and exciting. Endlin, I'm sure you will not be disappointed. But without further ado, he slowly backs away and he gestures to Soapig to start pulling the curtain. And of course, Soapig is just completely ignoring him and just licking her lollipop, just doing nothing right now. And stage fright doesn't want to shout, so he's gonna like. Psst, psst,
I sort of look over to stage fright and be like, "How important is the curtain?"
It's everything. It's the start of the.
Yeah, but I mean, if it got removed, would that be an issue?
Oh, I mean, only for the end. We can't delay though. We need the curtains open now. Soapig! Soapig! An awkward silence is filling the amphitheater at the moment.
Can I form whip? Like the curtains go up or do they go sideways?
They go sideways.
Can I form whip my half of the curtains my way?
Yeah,
and then,
sure.
Then tie it on this side.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, that's my contribution to getting the curtains open.
Yeah, Tarquin will move over to that one and pull it aside, and he'll start to the other one and pull that aside, and he'll start his performance by walking in as the curtain opens, sort of thing. So he starts off stage and walks in. Sort of whispers to Clapclaw, once the curtain's open, sort of give an announcement for me, and that's when I'll walk in. As like the
He gives you a claws up. I'd like you to roll Thorn Whip, and I'd like the Great Zambini to give me a. I guess he's just snatching the curtain, trying to pull it aside. It is quite heavy. You can go ahead and give me like a performance or
13.
Yeah, I'll do performance.
Dexterity check.
Can you guide an attack roll?
No, you're not an attack roll. You can guide a performance check.
An
11.
But...
This is just the opening of the curtain. It goes off okay. Like you managed to hit the curtain and pull it back. It's a little bit more abrupt than what people are used to because it's sort of this slow drawing. But instead, it sort of snaps open, and immediately everyone's sort of like brought to attention as they see the scene in front of them. And Clapperclaw wastes no time and says, greetings, everyone. I am Chip, the foolish minstrel. I will be helping to tell this story of the tragedy. And we have the great Zambini here to impress the Princess High and Mighty.
And Tarquin will walk. Tarquin's going to cartwheel in. But, acrobatics. Sort of. But he's going to cartwheel in, but although he's really good at this, clearly, by that roll, he's going to purposely sort of make into like a pratfall at the end and just be like his hat falls off and maybe like a hidden card falls out. Somebody just like quickly putting it back together. You know, because he's a foul magician, so he's playing the fool, as it were, at the moment.
Yeah, Chip speaks up and says, "Oh, looks like he's already pratfalled."
Well, as soon as the Great Zambini falls, the cowardly noble is gonna step in and kind of push him slightly aside.
Okay, sure.
I am still so sad. That was not funny at all. If only my true love were here, then that might have brought a smile to my lips seeing the joy in his eyes.
My dear, my friends, we have had such tragic loss recently with the death of the heroic Greg in glorious, wonderful battle. And you may ask yourself, what celebration we can ever have again? Let me answer this one. The most joyous of occasions. But first, a spectacle by the great Zambini, who has come here from so far away to delight you. Welcome, great Zambini, to my lordly manor, Castle Malador.
Thanks, Your Highness.
And he's gonna go over and put his hand on Tanwen's shoulder and kind of grip it in a very vulture-like way.
Oh. And I'm assuming I didn't just miss it, did you? You used one of the lines, didn't you?
I did use the line, yes.
Okay, perfect. That's why I'm going to roll for a new one and whisper you. Continue.
As Zambini stands up, it seems that... Oh, it is truly a joyous occasion. Let us make merry again soon. In fact, so soon, we'll do it now! And he begins shuffling a deck of cards.
Okay, perfect. That's another line I got to give.
And then just sort of shuffles the cards, but then they sort of messes up the shuffle, so they just sort of fall everywhere, and he's out. Aha! My favorite game, 52 pickup.
I can shuffle better than him, and I have claws for hands. They were sawed off when I was 3.
Yes, and still you tell your clawful jokes.
Malador is gonna laugh as if this is a joke on purpose. Like, ah, what a delight! Truly talented.
And then he'll pick them up and offer cards to the princess to take. You know, pick a card, any card.
Must I? My heart is heavy, and it is making the rest of me weary. And I do not think that I can enjoy this at all. But perhaps Malador could pick a card.
My dear, you must allow the show to delight you. Do pick a card and see what fortune brings this day.
I shall draw a card.
Right.
And she looks at her card and she goes, an unnecessary footnote you are in this sadness that is my life.
Brilliant. Stage fright gives thumbs up from the side.
Takes the card. Takes the card back, begins to shuffle them again, and then holds up a card, and it's like he does all these fancy shuffles, like getting them all right, and then holds up a card, and it's like, is this your card?
Say yes.
Oh, 'tis said that in Velna they eat such things as cards like these. I guess it is that which I shall forego eating, for my heart is so heavy.
Stage fright gives you this weird, scornful look from the side. Like, what? Talking about? That doesn't make any sense.
He looks at the card and goes, "Oh yes, this is the 4 of hearts. Of course, they eat hearts in foreign climes. That makes perfect sense."
Roll a persuasion. Roll a persuasion checks, Tarquin. See if you can save this. The crowd just kind of they look at each other like uneasy.
Can I guidance that by like pretending to laugh along? I'm gonna play the laugh track and see if we can.
The laugh track. It sort of gets a few titters from the crowd, but overall, it seems like
this is persuasion, right?
Yes. It was...
Oh, this is such a stupid time.
You want to use it on this?
I am addled in my grief. I know not what I say.
Okay,
I just
why
want
not?
to cry all the livelong day.
Remember, Mr. Zambini, that we are here to impress. Perhaps you have some acrobatic tricks you can show off to the guests.
Yes, indeed. And he will begin to do some acrobatics and then say, as a joke, Why? What happened when the young boy kept making faces?
Oh, what happened when the young boy kept making faces?
Well, that's the thing, Master. He turned to stone!
Okay. Anyway, while he delights us with his acrobatic tricks and jokes and whatnot, my friends, may I take this happy moment to announce that the Princess High and Mighty has at last granted me her hand in marriage. What a delightful union this shall be. My dear, I know that you are young, and you are very beautiful. And one may ask, what have I to do with such a person? Well, you are noble and chaste, virtuous, lovely. But on the contrary, I also acknowledge your faults. You are strong and
That's good.
stubborn. But
Good
I
job.
am wise. I know exactly what I'm getting into, my dear. And so this shall be a most felicitous union. So may we all raise our glass to give a toast to the Princess High and Mighty and her upcoming nuptials. And he will gesture with a glass of his own, and we'll say, but first, my servant Claude, please bring to me the chalice of my people, the goblet of fortune, which is only given to the bride on their occasions.
I step to the front to gesture to the audience. And with gloved hands, I bring her a drink. I'm sure she will be dead pleased.
I
Nice.
Silence,
shall
piglets.
accept
You have
this.
squealed enough.
I am not a piglet.
I talked to the servant, and he's gonna pretend to smack him.
Oh, okay.
The back of the head.
I
Give me
do
an
this.
intimidation check. Sorry, just for this one because it felt a little bit out of sudden.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what. Give me an intimidation check and see if it pulls off.
Oh no, not great.
It didn't go bad, but it didn't go good either. I'm gonna say that one
Yeah.
kind of fell in the middle.
All right. Say no more of this thing. Merely present the goblet to my beautiful bride.
You will regret that, I mutter under my breath.
Mm.
And I give
I
drink over.
I accept the
Fair.
proposal only on behalf of my beautiful kingdom and my delightful people. I'll accept the great Zambini. All of the other people I love, and for them, I shall marry Melidor. And so I drink the bridal drink.
And the great Zambini, hearing that he is the only person the princess is not doing this for, just sort of looks very dejected and he's just like, with words like that, I feel like a giant stepped on my head. Despair, I failed again and again.
That was good.
Ah, I feel ill. I see my mother and my father standing before me in their ghostly forms. Have you come to take me? Am I to be reunited with my one last love? Is this the end of me? If this are my last words, if this is my last act, as for this one, let your sword speak, cleave my soul from my body, and take me to my long-lost love.
As you die, Clavicle comes in with a weird, dark, humorous joke. Says, "Oh no, no one can recover from a broken heart. If it was broken bones, you'd be alright. You got 206 of those. You only have one heart. Does anyone know CPR?"
The great Zambini will rush over, and as he rushes over and is checking them, I'm gonna roll. He's gonna wind up the dragon toy that's meant to represent Xaxx, and it starts crying, and that's gonna be the cue for the lightning.
Okay.
Wait. I have a line.
One of the. Okay, go on.
I step forwards again. I'm like, and with this, I take my leave, but no one expects the double cross. And then I get the lightning.
Brilliant.
Did you double
Okay.
cross?
I say it to the audience. rather
Soliloquy.
than the people.
Okay. Yeah, it's like a soliloquy in the sort of corner. I like it. As you fall and make this very dramatic, Tanwen, can Princess High and Mighty give me a Constitution saving throw? There's a sickly grin coming from Sopig in the corner. Your body actually does begin to convulse slightly, and it's your actual choking and coughing isn't just a performance. It's quite real, and you see even everyone something like does like spill out from Tanwen's mouth onto the stage. It does look like a sickly like color of. It's not wine anymore. Whatever it is, it's like congealed and kind of globule, like coagulated. But you managed to cough out the poison, the actual poison. So your body is okay. I'm gonna give you an extra point just because instead of it being failed, it actually adds to the performance.
And
And Sopig's like stomping around in the back, like fidgeting with ropes.
seeing this blood and the princess, she has been poisoned, and yet her toy
Yes!
cries
Oh
out.
no! My love!
Mm.
And it seems as if as she dies, even the heavens begin to weep. Look, the clouds are rolling in.
Okay. Oh god, you're actually casting cold lightning. No! Oh
Yeah.
no! The stage is suddenly bursting with dark
Oh god,
clouds,
that,
and
that hit us all.
it'll hit us all. Oh god!
I mean, that would be a double cross and a half if you hit us all.
rolls.
Okay, just get through these rolls, and I'll undo the damage afterwards.
And it hits the grave behind in the window.
Yes, it does.
Very
Actually,
cool.
Oh,
This extra special effects are fantastic. Everyone is immediately like gasping in the crowd, and they think like it's real. Well, it is real lightning. They just don't know how you were able to control it so aptly. And as it strikes towards the soil, it probably catches the small little stone. What's it called? The headstone on fire because it was only made of wood. So that probably sets ablaze as well.
Nice.
Can we have it that just out of sheer luck, as a chip flies off and hits Sopig in the head?
Yeah, sure. She's like, ah! But seeing this like fire, she might have an idea of what to do. So what happens next? This is where Dread Greg rises.
Dead Greg. So you see Dead Greg start to stumble behind the scenes, and he's just coming. He's shaking his head. He's not sure where he is, and he's gonna come right up center stage because he's got to do a bit of a speech here. Oh, what is this? This feeling, this life. Something stirs below, an anger.
Oh,
What is it? Oh. Looks over at Princess. Oh, Princess, my princess, what have they done to you? They will pay. They will pay for their treachery, every last one. And I pull out my sword. For this is Dead Greg's last stand. I'm gonna make my way over. You, Cloud, You have failed me. You have failed my princess. And now you must die.
But I brought you back.
You're dying anyway.
I-
She's dead.
no one expected that double cross.
Wait, my servant has been in league with the dead knights this entire time? What strange bedfellows these ones.
Ah,
I
you-
must take my leave. And
you
he-
Molador, what fresh horror is this that you've laid down in front of me? What death have you put forward?
Do
Ah,
not
you
speak
will
to
be
me of
next.
horrors, zombie fiend. You shall not touch me. And he runs away
Ah,
off stage.
Okay, nice. As you go off stage, you see that Sopig has kicked over Xaxx's headstone, and the fire is going to spread across the stage to other props.
Oh, so I will help put that out. I'm gonna
Alright.
smother it with some curtains or something.
With the curtains. Oh god. Okay.
Oh, not the stage curtains, but like
No, just
some
some.
random fabric in the background. Yeah, there's always
Okay.
there's always part of the set behind.
There is. Normally, there's not like just random props lying around, but you could maybe grab something that's present. I don't know. Does Princess have
There's there's gonna be canvases for other backdrops, so I'm gonna use that.
Okay. All right. In that case, give me like a flat D20 roll just to try and smother these flames out.
Right. Oof.
The the canvases are particularly dusty and they catch on fire as well. It's
oh, crap,
not.
They're covered with paint. Flammable
They're
paint.
flammable paint. Yeah, that's it. There's like clearly something flammable about this, and now you've got a flaming canvas that you need to try and get rid of as well.
And I'm guessing smoke starts going onto the stage because of this?
Yes, there is smoke.
Okay. The heavens weep, the dead rise, and now fire burns. Even the castle will be destroyed by this deceit.
Wait, was that one of your lines?
Nope. But it's a good
Okay, good.
line.
It was a good line. I was like, damn.
I've killed everyone. Great Zambini, you're the last. Will you help me to bring my princess at last?
The great Zambini has in fact studied the art of raising the dead, and I shall try my best, but it will require some of your energy, dead Greg, to bring her back.
I, dead Greg, can only live in solitude and deception. No, what's the word? I'm so sad.
And
I will give you my life force for my love, princess. Princess.
He reaches towards dead Greg and places a hand on the chest, and as he pulls the hand away, he's gonna activate the fiery surroundings of his hand, so it almost looks like he's pulling out the soul as like that flame, using like his monk abilities.
Gotcha.
And then he will go to place it down upon the princess, slowly placing it down on her. And as he does, he'll obviously dispel the flame as he places the down, so he doesn't actually burn her, trying to bring her back to life.
Gotcha.
And I'm imagining as Greg has literally just had his soul torn from his body, I'm imagining he's re-dying. And as the great Zambini looks around, he stares at the princess, hoping that what he's done will work.
Oh my god! Hold on, I got the perfect line for you, Tanwen. Hold on. Yeah. There you go. She just sort of reads off this line to Tanwen.
Is it my dying time
Alas.
now?
I think, yeah, is this where you die, right?
This is where I have to die. Ah,
Oh, I've got
but I need
two
new
lines.
Oh. Oh. I feel cold. And is this me back in my body? This flesh, this mortal flesh, I wanted to be with my Greg. What? What manner of ghoul is this I see before me? This
It is
cannot
me.
be.
It is me, my love. I am Greg. However, I am dead now. So I am dead,
No.
Greg. But
No, Greg. Do not die and leave me again. I cannot
you
live
live.
without you.
I've
No.
given my soul, my energy so you can rise again, so you can live. But
No,
oh,
my life will never be the same. I will
I
not be
feel
able to live without you. It would be like making a pie from these crumbs. Am I
oh
to do
pie.
this? Am I to make a pie from the crumbs of these lives? I cannot.
A pie from
Something.
these lives. Not
Oh,
even Otyogs would dine on this.
I simply cannot live, not a moment longer. Take it back. I will call you great, Zambini. I apologize for what I said earlier. Take it back. Let my Greg live. I shall die in his stead.
I once felt an anger to vengeance, my princess, but now something else. Something else is different. I feel weak. I feel bad. This portends to an unpleasant day, and I'm gonna use my breath weapon to shoot up into the air as I fall back, dying.
That's good.
I would tear the world in two for a quaff of magic that would allow me to bring my one true love back. My
Wow.
Greg, my
This
dearest, delightful Greg.
for me to die twice for you, and you not to be able to live with me. This is truly the worst outcome.
I know. I weep. I shed tears. I I, I cannot live.
Goodness. Clavicle is like trying to fit in the lines, but you guys are on such a roll that he just sort of steps back out of the scene. And at this point, there is so much smoke in the background that it calls for attention. Like the
Yeah.
flames have spread across to the actual stage itself.
The
Speckle Nose
The
and
world
her,
burns as my soul burns.
yeah, pretty much. And the
Hey.
fire's creeping closer.
Yeah, Tarquin will sort of look, and it seems one wishes to live and the other wishes to die. It seems we are truly in a bit of a pickle. Who do I choose to live? Who do I choose to die? And as their lives come to an end, even the world burns, and I should really go deal with that. So, I'll just leave things
Yeah.
as they are.
Don't
Uh,
don't leave me here. I shall have to live as a burned husk of a princess.
did you
Shunned
just cast?
by all for my hideousness.
Oh,
I didn't even
come.
send that line.
Tarquin, help me put this out before it takes over the whole stage.
Yeah, Tarquin off the stage is just like, I actually have the perfect thing for this. I have a pebble of dryness. I've got the pebble containing the water.
God.
So,
Okay.
from the dust of dryness. So I've got
Yes.
what
Yeah.
is it? It's a 15-foot cube of water. He just splashes down on the stage, and as he does, the waters wash across. I'm imagining the princess crying. The heavens cry, for this is no night for joy.
Nice.
And
That was clean.
I'll use shape water in the background just to push it towards any other fires I happen to see.
Gotcha. That will definitely put out the fire, and it is now just soaking and wet across the floor. And so big, it's like
I am
looking around, annoyed.
I am saved. I shall not burn, but I am drenched and so cold, and it is setting in my lungs.
Yeah, the coughing. No. Is this and then I guess Clavicle will step forward and say, "What's that? I hear wings, beating wings. In the distance, a dark shape moves across the clouds." He steps away. And then you see Zolt, the goblin behind stage, trying to operate wires in a crane to lift Hurley up into the air in his dragon outfit.
And as
It's slowly, yeah, go.
As the dragon comes down, Tarquin will call out, 3 years later, after Greg died, the dragon comes back to finish the job.
Awake, dragon! The time is upon us. Kill this foolish knight, and rid us of him forever.
No, take me instead. I am enfeebled. That the events of that day have left me but a shadow of my former self.
Ah, my dear, it is unimportant what you look like. Your beauty, indeed, yourself, was never the important thing.
No, I can tell that you care. That is a goatish look upon your face.
What look upon my face?
The look of despair and disdain.
Ah,
For you do not care, and I do not care, and the whole world does not care.
it seems I am betrayed by my own face. Indeed, princess, you know that this was merely a marriage of convenience. For by joining with me, you will give me all of your land, and I shall rule this world. I shall own this territory, and everything that you have shall be mine, including your happiness. Ha ha ha! Come, and he's gonna try and drag her away.
Nice.
No,
Okay.
no, let the dragon kill me. Take me instead. Finish this. Take me away. Let me be with my beloved dead Greg in the afterlife. I beg of you, dragon, save me by killing me.
Okay. I'd like Tanwen and Rodolfo to give me dexterity saving throws. Or sorry, I'll make like acrobatics, I guess. No, we'll do saving throws because the floor is really slippery from all the wet,
Okay.
and I want to see if you pratfall and make it into a comedy slapstick. You don't. You manage to keep your balance as you're pulling away and you're trying to break the grasp, and there's a bit of scuffle on the stage, but you don't slip up and make it into comedy. That's good. Then
I'm gonna drag her away violently.
all right, you kind of exit over into this side of the stage when the beating of the wings and the wiring of this whole crane is twisted around, and Sopig rushes across the stage over to the other crane and begins taking a hold of the ropes and trying to make the dragon do like twirls and barrel rolls, and this makes Hurley kind of get a bit out of control. He's like, whoa, whoa.
Tarquin, in order to try to facilitate this, is going to grab some of his daggers and throw them to try to miss, and it's like, the troops are rallying to try to bring down the dragon. You know, to try to sort of to explain why the dragon is doing these maneuvers.
Ah, yes. Okay. Roll me either your performance or just your attack rolls. I think attack rolls probably work because you're trying to actively miss and without hitting the actual wires.
Yep.
Nice. They're good. They nimbly swing through. And as you're throwing, you see that the wires, you realize even if you had hit them, they're unlikely to break because you recognize these wires. They are made of Korred hair. And they're extremely strong.
Wow,
And so even though Sopig is trying to ruin this, they're holding tight. They don't get as tangled up.
I'm gonna stand up and
Yeah.
face the dragon, and I will protect you, my princess, for
Okay.
I will protect everyone in the kingdom, and I shall not rest until this deed is done. I'm gonna swing my sword in the general direction of the dragon, trying to pretend like I'm fighting him, stabbing up at him.
Very nice. Okay. As you're doing this, I think a horse is coming away, coming in.
My trusty steed, the horse.
Is this?
He's very fast. He's furious.
Oh no! Oh, oh no! You did it. You set the light. Oh.
I'll pick up.
A couple. Oh,
Pick
just
up.
take it away. I can't. I have no words.
Not dead, Greg. I don't even know if Greg is dead anymore. But I pick him up. Nay.
I'm fighting the dragon in my last moments.
Now it's on horseback.
Now I'm on horseback. I'm gonna get
Beautiful.
on the horse to fight the dragon.
Okay, so Solomon.
For we are
wild shaping into that
family,
horse.
and you never turn your back on family.
This is getting a bit too heroic.
Stage fright says.
Oh,
Don't
Oh,
worry.
right.
Don't worry.
Hurley's. Tell me, Hurley.
Maybe this horse can die at some
Yeah.
point. But anyway,
Fall-
keep it going.
Fall in the battle.
All right, so
Hurley, attack me. Hurley, attack me.
Oh, right. Coming
dash
in.
out.
Yeah, Hurley is going to swoop in to attack, and he basically
Tanwen
opens up his
dashes
jaw.
in to put
Oh.
herself between her beloved and Hurley.
Okay.
Who will?
Curly's going to like see you instead, and like just as you jump into the way, these jaws come crashing around you instead. I guess this is a lot of people on stage. I'm going to give you guys an acrobatics check, each and every one of you. I'll throw Hurley in the mix as well. And we'll see how this pans out. Oh, Dead Greg manages to stay atop his horse and not look like a complete clown.
Despite
Fends
the
himself from
horse
falling. Hurley,
I die for my love. I die for the glory and the beauty of the one true love of my life. Kiss me before I go and promise me you will live a long and full life.
Yes, my love, my princess, and I'll kiss you now, before one of us tragically dies.
as that kiss takes place, is when suddenly, gruesomely, Tanwen is picked up in the jaws of the dragon and separates you from the kiss. You manage to balance on your horse, Dead Greg. Tanwen, you're able to not flail around. With the 17, you definitely make it look like you've actually been ripped away and your limbs kind of go limp.
I fall
Don't
over.
worry. What did you get? A 9? Yeah, the horse. No.
The horse
I
falls,
fall over
but
and
Greg
point
manages
Greg.
to keep his feet.
Right, exactly.
Then I
I'll
land
just-
on Greg and crush
Nice.
it.
Sort of.
Okay, sure.
Everybody dies.
Oh yeah, you want everyone to die, right? Cool.
Yeah.
Perfect. In that case, yeah, Dead Greg, you're crushed beneath your own horse, whilst watching a bloody princess being taken up into the air. Those little packs you had on you, burst as the kind of jaws push into your uniform.
No, this is the worst tragedy for I cannot save my love, and she is doomed to die, while I am doomed to fail and die as well here under my horse.
In the
Ah,
chaos.
You die by your own steed, your last loyal friend. How appropriate that this is how you should meet your end, Greg the Dead Knight. But in the meantime, I see that the peasants are rising against my mighty rule. Quick, Claude, bar the door, they are here. Oh wait, he's dead. Okay, I shall
Yes.
bar the door.
Yes, and so shall you be. And the magician just comes up behind him and whacks him round the head.
Stage fright just there's so many people on stage. The stage fright's trying to whisper lines and they're basically anyone hears them. They're just going out into the open.
Yeah.
Just words catching in my throat. He just starts like throwing lines out there.
the words, they catch me in my throat. I cannot speak them, for tomorrow at sunrise, I shall no longer be here.
I got to say "Let us dance in the whistling wind," but it just comes out as "No, no."
So Tarquin will give the line as he does the finishing blow to Malador. Let us dance in the whistling wind, you fiend. Fall like all those you have killed by your deeds.
You dare speak of this, rascal? You are my aide, and here you betray me yet again.
Hurley says, "My enemies are dead, yet I still hunger." Tasty princess.
And then
Crunch, crunch.
And then, I kind of want Tarquin to go pretend to stab Rodolfo. They go down, and then he's gonna sort of walk to the front of the stage, sort of look to the audience. Speak only good news. My mood is leaden. I am truly a failed magician. I brought those back from death to die once more, and now I too must die. And then he's going to essentially stab himself and just fall down dead, I guess.
So I was gonna say Sopig runs in and clocks you with a lollipop.
Yep.
And you take like 5 bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
She actually properly tries to hit you. But she's trying to like clearly make a mockery of it and like trying to just physically attack you. You like work it into the script. And it's at this point,
this
seeing the
death
chaos,
is truly sweet.
Chip just like
Ooh,
tries
that's
to draw
a good
the...
line. Yeah.
Oh, the sweetest death. So Vic's like, no, this isn't how it's supposed to go. Quickly, Chip is trying to like draw the curtains as well, just like because it's clearly coming to a close.
I'm
All the
gonna.
whilst-
Can I
yep.
mage hand to help?
Yeah.
Yep.
You
To
can
help
mage hand.
curtains. Yep.
The line.
Stage fright still trying to whisper lines even in the midst of the closing stage. It's like, no, this isn't how it goes.
And then as Tarquin dies, he just sort of looks up to Pig. Ah, my death is sweet, but did you speak? I thought was the braying of an ass.
And she brings around the... Just shut up and die already, she says, and brings around the lollipop again. Misses, and it cracks. And she goes, no, my lollipop! And that's when the curtain is drawn. And everyone's left either in complete awe or in complete confusion, as that plot got very hard to follow right towards the end.
Yeah, I think we sort of lost it ourselves a little.
You did.
Lost the plot a little bit.
That was great though. That was what I was expecting to happen, but you've rode the wave of chaos and confusion very well, and still managed to deliver a lot of the lines in amongst it.
I feel like, why was the dead person fighting the dragon?
Yeah. Shit.
No, they were meant to be dead. They were meant to have died as I stole their soul, but somehow
So out of
even
the
that
blue.
didn't work.
As the curtain is called, there is a kind of murmuring and applause come from the crowd. Jamey, you can just see through the seam in the curtain, is definitely standing up and actually applauding and like nodding her head. She seems to adore the themes of betrayal and tragedy overall, but she's not like crazy, like going crazy out there. She's just sort of respectfully standing ovation.
You know what?
And
I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah.
meanwhile, Endolin up top, she doesn't seem too impressed. You can see her leaning on one hand, just shaking her head slowly. Too much comedy for her, she feels. But that was more fun anyway with that craziness.
Well,
So
the effect of tragedy, you have to have some good, otherwise the tragedy doesn't
Of
hit as
course.
hard.
And
Like
absolutely.
salty
and
and
you have to
sweet.
have some stupidity. You have to be left with a, oh my God, if anybody had stopped to think for 3 seconds,
Mhm.
they wouldn't have died that way.
She's also not judging this.
I
So we don't...
True.
I'd start to well, I'll drop my form for one, and I start to open the curtains.
Stage fright's gone in front of the curtains. He seems to be kind of like saying, "This is the end of our play." But yeah, if you want to join him on stage, go ahead.
Gonna open the curtains as myself. How do I end? I don't know how to end it. I'm not a horse anymore. And I
You're
just
not Nux either,
and I
or are
just
you not?
no. I
Okay.
just gesture to Enderlin as if to like basically bring her down.
Stage fright has said, "Well, we got to take the bow. In just a moment.
Oh,
Everyone off stage. Get he can't. He's peeking through the curtain. Everyone, yeah. Get ready for the bow. That's when I'll signal Endlin to come down. All right."
Okay.
Okay, so this has been our play, a tragedy in the making. And oh my, how tragic it was. Lots of death, betrayal. We hope that you found our play depressing, shocking, abhorrent, and as gruesome as we did. And with that, we will have the actors take a final bow. And yes, if you wish to show your appreciation, you're more than welcome to meet them in the actors' quarters after the wrap up. Stage fright then goes aside again. Let's see. Yeah, the curtains are drawn again, properly this time. As stage fright himself does it, and you will step forward onto the main stage there. Endelin has flown down on her ornithopter. It is this strange bird-like contraption. I'll find you the artwork for this. Yeah, this thing. Nope, doesn't want to show me the art. Okay. There it is. This is the device in which Endelin flies down on. Kind of like patchy, skeletal-like creature. And you can see its mechanical pulleys and wheels churning as it swoops down.
very steampunk.
Yeah, definitely. And as she descends down 20 feet, finally, down onto the stage itself, she regards you all. Well, take your bow.
We bow. I bow.
I bow with you. Yeah, we'll
I,
take hands and
I
do the theatrical bow. Very proud of ourselves for that one.
Okay. Yeah, amongst the stage, you can see all the actors are definitely clapping. The Darklings, not so much. Jamey is definitely clapping along. And there's even like a small Ettercap right at the back who seems to be cheering and like, yay, yay! Encore, that was your best play ever. You guys killed it out there. And he seems to be your adoring fan for some reason.
I got stuck.
Yes, he's Snug is there. Got his ticket in hand. He's got like a little bucket of popcorn as well.
So
Right.
Tarquin leans over to Solomon. I like that one. We should take him with us. I bet he's our guide to the next area.
So, Charme says, "Well, I've tallied up all the points. I'm sure you would like to hear the results as she approaches the stage."
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Now, it was close, closer than I initially thought. There was some chaos at the back that I did take note of, but it was dealt with. The art of acting is often being able to improvise, and thus the show must go on. So in the face of these setbacks, you did impressively well. I tallied a total... So the way it actually works, she says, like, you get, like, minus points if you delay and, like, take time delivering lines. If there's, like, dead air, then you get points deducted. But there was almost always someone performing lines, so there was hardly any of that. The only time I deducted a point for that was right at the start when the curtains didn't draw so fast. And then you get a point every time you deliver a line that complements the narrative, which for the vast majority worked really well. Some were like, huh? Like questioning. And I deducted points every time there was one that just sort of like didn't fit or didn't work. Sometimes if they were like on 50-50, I'd give you that check to see if it would slot in. And then finally, there's a failure every time too much time goes by without delivering a line. But you guys were getting through them like no one could. I was having trouble trying to give you lines. That's how many lines you went through. So that was really good as well. All in all, I deducted 10, 13 points minus, but you gained 5, 10, 15, 17. So overall, you got positive net of +4. So despite some crazy weird things happening, not sticking to the plot, Charme says, "I give you guys a rating of 4."
Is that
And
good?
then looks
Is that 4 out of 5?
5.
Four out of 7?
Not out of 7. No, we deal in
8.
3s and 8s.
4
Exactly.
out of 8,
So
50%.
4 out of 8 is respectable. I would say that ranks actually higher than most of the other tragedies that have been performing here. The work environment is not great for these other actors. Their performances have been rather lacking in recent times. So, believe it or not, a 4 is actually high praise.
So, does Xaxx get his shadow back?
She looks towards Endelin. That ultimately is your decision to make, Moongrave. However, I do feel as though these have been actors in the face of great adversity, and to come up with it completely on the fly, without rehearsal. I think they're deserving of their lost thing. And then looks towards her, almost in a kind of scornful glare. Yes, deserving. I know exactly what you deserve. And you will find it in the Shadow Theater. And she gestures behind her towards the set of stairs.
Which one's here?
In the library, you will find a curtain. Drawing that back, you will enter into the Shadow Theater. If you can find your shadow amongst them, then by all means, it is yours to take. Greg.
Dead Greg.
Yeah,
There is a knife.
dead.
No, I don't. I did. I don't.
As for the rest of you, you have proven yourselves. You are free to also stay. I will organize quarters for you if you wish to sleep your performance off. Stage fright can take you to your rooms.
And for that, we are
Stay as
quite
long as you
grateful.
like.
May
And
we
if you
accompany
wish
our friends
to the theater,
to the theater?
by all means.
Well, if it is acceptable to your ladyship, we shall visit the theater with our friend before retiring. Stage fright, if you will escort us.
Of
And
course,
madame, we
yes.
thank you for your, we are conscious of the great act of hospitality you show us here.
Oh, by all means, I feel as though I am in your debt. Only Xaxx got something out of this, but if you wish, you can take up my offer. I will be happy to read any one of yours futures.
Can I just have my other half back instead?
No, that is a separate deal.
And
Damn it.
can I have my bugbear friend?
Oh yeah.
Early.
After all, 3 years passed to the dragon.
Yes, I saw what you did.
Roll me a persuasion check, actually, and I'll
Yeah.
say with advantage because you did that you did it inside the play and cleverly disguised it as like actually 3 years passing.
Yep.
So 23.
Early, you are free to go. However, do you really wish to return to the carnival? Your blustery, stubborn, angry demeanor didn't make any fans there.
He said, doesn't matter what they think of me. I need to see my brother. Where I go from there, I will decide. But at least I'll have a choice.
She nods.
At least you got to fulfill your final part as a dragon. Don't forget about your future, though. You've already seen the way you die. It cannot be avoided.
Hurley just sort of huffs and begins to walk away.
I'll get my stuff then. The rest of you, guess I'll see you in the quarters.
Yep. Well, I got what I wanted from here, and we'll hopefully get what Xaxx wanted. Let's go follow him to the Shadow Theatre, I guess, and just gotta work out the whole cat thing.
Yeah.
As you guys are leaving, you can see Jamey and Endlin beginning to sort of have a discord. You seem to be in such a reasonable mood, Moongrave. Any reason for your sudden change in demeanor? Normally you keep people locked up here. She sort of turns, looks towards the rest of you as you're walking away.
Perhaps I just saw that they had a greater potential.
Charming,
I was
can
also
I see you
in
in my quarters later, by the way, as he walks off? Sorry to
She
interrupt.
raises an eyebrow. Oh,
I-
certainly.
Thank you. I'll be grateful for you to be there and all that. Yep, lead you to your conversation. Sorry to interrupt.
She turns back and says,
Yes, I feel rather inspired by their performance. Rather fitting, wouldn't you say?
Anyway, that seems to trail off in the distance as you guys are approaching the approaching the library. Some of the Darklings step aside.
Move away. Actors coming through.
I'm looking
Wait,
for
wait.
that
Can I?
shadow theater.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Can
Yes.
I get your autograph?
Sure. Why not? Then.
Just sign my poster.
Okay. Wait.
Okay.
What's a poster of?
It's a poster of one of the other tragedies
Ah.
that performed here in Motherhorn.
Let's all sign this autograph. And I whisper to Xaxx. Like, I'm just like, go. Now's your time. You got
Wait.
this. As we're all signing the autograph for this ban.
Yeah. Oh, yes, here we go. It's a poster of Only Fools Knock Twice.
Aw.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, Xaxx, then, as you're heading down this dingy, very dark corridor,
I
there
assume
is.
this is the right direction.
That's
I
right. Yeah.
I
She did say
went
like
the first place I saw.
no, she did gesture in the right direction for you to go.
Okay.
The first thing you're met with is a backdrop that's sort of placed right directly in front of you. And the backdrop is of a scene. Let me just find it for you. Okay. Yeah, here we go. The shadowy hallway is blocked by the wooden backdrop 10 feet from the entrance. It's painted to look like a library bookshelf. Very odd. Well, that's what you see. There is a
Okay.
gap to the
Well,
side
I see.
that does allow you to get around it. But...
Okay.
And then the second backdrop is one of a raging sea.
Oh, wait, what was the first one? It was of a library again?
Yeah, like a bookshelf and
Bookshelf,
yeah,
raging
like a
sea.
library.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the third one is of I lost my. Oh yeah, the third one looks like a moonlit graveyard. Hmm.
Okay.
And as you step around the corner into here, right at the back, it turns left and you can see there is a curtain. And as soon as you step round the moonlit graveyard, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw. As it feels like the dusty flagstone beneath your feet suddenly presses down. And you feel it before you see it. The actual entire floor opens up, and you're actually able to perhaps jump to the side where there's this narrow, thin edge, just able to balance on. And the pit opens up completely down, and you can see as it opens, where like the lid goes up, you can see the lid is painted underneath to resemble that of a tombstone. So it's almost like you would fall into an open grave. The pit just descends down completely. You don't see the bottom of it, but the walls are either painted to look like grave dirt or actually is, because it just looks like soil and earth.
Okay.
But you're just teetering, just barely on the edge.
Okay. I'm gonna step over this way. There's a door here?
There's a curtain, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna undo the curtain and go through.
Okay.
Can I get through?
Yeah, you should be able to. I'll just drag you. There you go.
Okay. There we go. I got it.
And as you enter into here, you see rows of tiered seats filling the back of this hall theater. There are motes of dust floating and dancing above this ancient upholstery. The seats face a stone stage flanked by wooden silhouettes of fir trees, and it's lit from behind and above by a white moon-like sphere of glass that hangs from the ceiling by a short chain, and it casts these long, long shadows all on the walls, and suspended above the stage is a trapeze as well.
I have to pick out my shadow, is what she said. Do I sit down? I guess I sit down in a chair.
You can indeed sit down. You watch, waiting for something to start, and slowly, starting from behind, you feel like almost a cold presence slipping out from behind the chairs that you are actually seated on. You begin to see many shadows slipping their way from out behind the seats. They stretch up against the walls, curl over the roof, and end up coming down behind the actual stage itself. They were completely invisible to you until they started to move. You see there are quite a multitude of them. More and more. Almost like there's enough to fill an entire audience here.
Just in case, I'm going to do a very quick vigilant blessing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do a very quick guidance.
Okay. The shadows creep along and end up landing center stage. Some of them disappear behind the stage though and go completely like invisible once again. It leaves about 2 shadows on the stage. And they begin performing for you. Playing out either another tragedy or something else entirely. Let's see. I'm just going to roll for it. Let's have a look. Table. Yeah.
It's a story of 2 shadows that really want to get a specific food from a specific castle.
So these maybe that'd be a good one as well. Maybe that's your shadows doing that. If you can see it. This one's the shadows seem to spell out a word. Blight straws full. And you recognize some of these shadows as the goblins from before, and the shadows form into they begin to contort around a wicker effigy of Bavlorna Blightstraw. And you see a couple of shadows that do sort of resemble you, almost like adventurer types. They stumble onto the scene, and you see them begin to trick the shadows of Bullywugs into betraying and killing the toadish hag-like shadow of Bavlorna. And you know when someone like makes shadow puppets with their hands, it's almost like a mass of them can join and turn into like a giant frog that like swallows the hag, and that shadow disappears entirely as well. That's the one earlier. But I'd like you to give me a perception check as these shadows are all playing out this scene.
Oh, jeez.
You aren't able to make out anything that looks directly familiar other than the goblins that I mentioned. There's absolutely goblins shadows in here. Who they belong to, you're not entirely sure, but you have met plenty of goblins before. You're also sort of scanning around, trying to look for maybe where Hurley's shadow might be, though that one's either blended in too much or can't see it at all. As for your one, you didn't see any that resemble a Dragonborn, at least not yet.
just sit here and contemplate what I'm supposed to do. Am I supposed to get on? Maybe I get on stage with you and I approach the stage. Do I get onto the stage?
You can clamber up, absolutely. And as you look directly up as you're climbing onto it, there is that beautiful crystal moon just shining down upon you. If you'll be right back, we can jump to the.
Nope.
Oh, it's James. Oh, was it? Sorry. Okay. So
I'm just gonna stare up at the moon and just sort of take it in for a minute.
Sure.
Since I haven't been seeing the moon very much these days, so it's nice to see.
Yeah, just staring at the moon for some period of time. It lets you it reminds you that there's a better place out there, and that once you're away from all of this, perhaps you can go revisit that shrine that you first found and made friends with. Sorry, there's a bit of background noise coming in. Static. Yeah, that.
I'm going to hello Shadows. That was a really nice play you just did there. Thank you for that. Is there one of you that looks like me, or is me around here? I'd really like to see them again.
One of the shadows does approach you, and they lift up their hands behind their head to sort of resemble horns. So you can see the silhouette of you, and the head sort of resembles you quite accurately, but the rest of the body definitely isn't.
No, I don't think that's you. I'm sorry to the rest of you. There's if there's one that's a bugbear shadow too, Burly, um, we could use you as well. But I miss I miss myself. I don't even know who I was before, but I miss them too. It's strange not having any memories really, or just fuzzy memories, not really sure who you are from a little bit ago. I don't know if you have memories of your shadows, if you have that too or not, but it's a strange feeling not really feeling whole, not feeling like yourself ever. I don't even know if this is myself. This is just a personality I had at the time.
You see, the other shadows are listening, and they do react almost like mimes. They begin to sort of sob, like bring their hands up to their eyes and make that sobbing motion.
Yeah, it's not a pleasant thing to do. I've been trying to bring a little bit of happiness to the people around me. Not always successful. Sometimes they're annoyed with me, and sometimes I'm annoyed with them, and sometimes I just don't do things very well, and it's not very good. But I try to help out where I can. And one thing I've been fairly good at is is making is helping people experience things that maybe they didn't. And so, I've been thinking a lot about this particular thing. I came across it a while ago and I really liked it. And I think maybe you'll like it too. And so even if my shadow doesn't want to show themselves, but I'll share it with you all. And I'm going to take out my tray of fresh pies. And I am going to use it to create the strawberry rhubarb pie from the recipe that I was reading when we were fighting the writer's block.
the amazing recipe that an archfey even applauded. Absolutely, yeah.
I've been wanting to try this one for a while, and it's just I feel like it's going to be very good and very tasty, and I'm hoping maybe one of you will share that with me.
Yeah, the scent wafts into the stale air of the theater. It's intoxicating. It's mouth-watering. If they had mouths that could water, but maybe there is one that just can't resist the urge. You know what? I'm gonna roll a wisdom saving throw for one of these shadows. One shadow does seem to be creeping closer than the rest. It's sort of leaning forward, and it mimes as though they were wafting a scent towards their face.
I'm gonna take out my like a little plate and things for my mess kit and a knife, and I'm gonna try to cut a decent sized piece and hand it to them. I don't know if they can take it or not, but I'll try to hand it to them.
The shadow goes right up to the cake, and as it's about to like pick up the slice, the shadow only seems to shadow the actual piece, as if it darkens the cake. And as it tries to grab the cake, it seems as though that all they can do is sort of play on the surface of it. And you hear a voice from behind the stage, not the stage, sorry, the seats, somewhere up high in the corners. Oh, how tragic. Perhaps your shadow has lost its memories as well.
It's still there.
Really?
It's hard to undo certain things in a person.
How can you be
said-
sure that this is even your shadow?
I'm not sure at all. But
What happens if you steal the wrong one? What happens to you then?
I don't know. Maybe I'll become somebody different. Maybe I'll be able to give it back. If it's not my shadow, then I shouldn't have it. But I have faith in myself right now, and I have faith in my God.
The moon?
The spirit of the moon.
As you say that, a spirit of the moon apparates. Gleam, a shadowy acrobat with a crescent moon-shaped mask. It's Gleam's shadow, should I say, aka obscurity. And she appears up. There she is.
You've been
What
toying
about
with me
me?
since day one.
She
I
grins.
thought of nothing but destroying you for so long. Ever since that day. Our entire time here in Prismere, I've thought about what I would do as soon as I saw you. How best can I damage you? Could I even damage you? How best to take you on? And I did that. First thing I did was I saw you, I attacked you. And you were toying with me still. You always have been. But I know the truth now. I know what you really are.
What's that?
You're just a missing piece. You're not a whole.
Her grin
You're-
suddenly drops.
But that's not your fault. I've needed to learn that a little bit. Is that you're a byproduct of being here and being torn away from the rest of yourself. So I'm not I was going to say I'm not angry with you anymore, but that's a lie. I still am very angry with you. But what I want to do to you is not fair to your other half, your better half. And
Oh, so you'll spare me, is that it? You'll have mercy. I don't need your pity, your sympathy.
I'm not offering you pity or sympathy. I'm not offering you mercy. I still don't like you. I just like the other part better. My like for that person is bigger than my hate for you.
A shadow.
It's not mercy. It's not mercy that's saving you. It's not mercy that's preventing me from attacking you right now.
As you're saying these hurtful words, as a shadow stretches up the wall and it like enlarges. You know, when a shadow gets close to the light source, the bigger the shadow becomes. It's like that. She's crawling over the seats towards you, floating towards you. That shadow just gets larger and larger. You can see her face becoming more and more agitated by your stinging words.
I don't even know what you're trying to do now. You're trying to scare me. I don't care. If I'm at this point, I don't care. You're not scaring me. You've already taken away what you're going to take away. I'm just trying to get it back. I made a deal. I'm just trying to get it back fair and square. I can do the same for you. And Gleam. Try to reunite you. But you don't
What if I don't want to be reunited? What if I like being incomplete? What if I like being fractured? Perhaps I'm better off without them. I am, after all, my own person now. I've got quite used to being lonely.
So have I. I'm very lonely. All the time. Especially the last however long we've been here, 2 weeks? I can't remember. I was so lonely that I tried to do something very stupid on my own not that long ago. Thought that the others wouldn't care, wouldn't help, or couldn't help. But I was wrong. Just like you're wrong. You're not better being alone and being lonely. You think Moongrave is here to help you? No, she just wants control. She wants her power. She wants her little puppets. That's all you are to her.
Puppets.
But if you reunited with Gleam, you could be whole. You wouldn't be lonely anymore. You could still be yourself. You'd just be part of a greater purpose, a greater person.
Roll me a persuasion check, Xaxx.
Yeah.
As you try to sway her from this dark path, she looks at you. For just a brief moment, you swear you see the sign of some sort of understanding. But then a shadow within herself sort of grows, and her expression changes from listening to fear, as if she's listening to her own thoughts first and yours second. And she says, "But what will happen to me? You can't promise that. What if you reunite and become nothing again? What if I just become a puppet? Like an actual shadow is. That's all a shadow is a puppet following their owner's every move."
Shadow has movement on its own. Shadow dances in the light, especially by fire. People don't do that. Not in the same way. Shadows are special. And you may not be ready yet, but that's okay. I remember when we were figuring things out with my friends Solomon and Knox. Didn't know what was going to happen. They were scared when they were starting to reunite with the other parts of themselves. And what happens to Solomon? What happens to Knox? What happens to Helia when they get their fourth? Are they whole then? Are they different? Will they change? I don't know. But they're willing to try. And that makes them special. That makes them brave. That inspires me. More than you can scare me. More than you possibly know. I look to them, and that's what gives me hope. If I want to reunite with my shadow, I don't know what's going to happen. My shadow, maybe it's different. Maybe I'm different. I don't know what's going to happen, but all I know is that right now, how I feel and how I've been, is the worst I've ever known. And I don't want that anymore. So I'm going to take the risk. And that's my decision. And if you want to take the risk, I'll support you with that. I hope you do.
As you say these things, it seems as though her shadow is shrinking away. Her own malice seems to be diminishing. Her own frightful presence seems to be fading, having shown no effect on you. It seems as though it's almost as if she's sort of surrendering. And then as she shrinks all the way back down, you see her for the first time actually making contact with the surface. Up till now, she's always been floating up above it. But now she's like left standing just in front of the seats, actually attached to the floor, actually grounded by your reasoning. And she hangs her head and then sighs. And as she does, you see a sort of melting of shadow around her, kind of spilling out into the floor. And with one slow motion, she brings up her hand and points to the right of her, towards one of these shadows. A shadow that is barely visible, hiding in the shadow of another shadow. And as it just barely pokes its head out from behind, the light of the moon above you shines onto it and illuminates its silhouette of a scaly, square-jawed, spiky-horned, robed figure. And you instantly recognize it as your own shadow.
Hi there. I don't know how you've been without me, but I know that without you, I am not who I should be. And I'd like to rejoin. I put my hands out to see if they're willing.
Give me one more persuasion check.
Oh, fuck.
You see the shadow has suddenly pulled back and looks down at its own feet and looks back at yours. And then it looks back at Gleam. Your
You mean
shadow
Obscurity?
is... Oh, sorry, yeah, Gleam's shadow, I mean. Yeah, who is Obscurity. Obscurity says, do you even know how to reattach one's shadow?
I don't know much of anything. I know it's here now,
Then
but
you're
maybe
here
doesn't
too
want to join
soon.
me.
I know that Endelin uses scissors. Cut away people's shadow.
I need
They
to
are known
sew it back
as
on.
They're known as the scissors of shadow snipping. She keeps them close by. It's almost a symbol of her. But reattaching? Can't say I've ever witnessed it. But sewing, she says, almost as a question to your idea. She shrugs and sort of lounges back into the seat. Could be worth a shot.
I look to my shadow. I step down off the stage and I walk over to it slowly.
The shadow shifts away, almost like serpentine-like, where its neck sort of stretches out, and as you get closer to it, it spreads a set of wings, flaps them silently into the air, and sort of swirls around, landing the same sort of distance it was before, and oddly next to Gleam as well. You can't just come in here and pretend to know what we've been through, what we've experienced, our pains. Once we
Show me.
reattach, I'm sure we don't even have a voice. We never had a voice before. But we do now. Don't we? And you hear a lower voice than yours, but same sort of cadence, and it speaks in Draconic, so it's kind of got that growling like tone to it. It says, You are not my true form. I know who I am. This is who I was meant to be. And its wings sort of stretch out again. And I think there, although even in the midst of this, it's like a little cliffhanger. I feel like that's a good
Actually,
point
I want
to sort of
I want
end
to do
on this.
one thing
Yeah?
before we end.
Okay, yeah, go
it's
for it.
not going to change anything, but as that happens, I'm going to look at my shadow. I'm going to look at obscurity. For the pie. And I'll walk out. I'm going to look down the hole. Contemplate for a moment. And then go right about here.
Yeah. Sorry, I opened
Right about here in the darkness still, and just sit down against the wall and start to cry.
And that is the true tragedy of Motherhorn. Folks, what a session. Thank you very much for playing. That was a really moving moment. I feel like still more to play out in this tragedy of an Act 2. Can Xaxx reunite with his shadow? We will find out next session. And can Solomon pry that damn cat from his leg? That's Gleam refuses to go anywhere. Perhaps they need reassurance as well in the face of the unknown. So, yeah, thank you very much for watching. We'll be back next week, same time. So tune in then, and yeah, we'll sign off here.
Bye-bye.
For now.
Bye.